Yes, that's right. Back by popular demand. Well, backed by a deafening silence that we took to be a reasonable demand that you were all just too polite to make. It's the inevitably nonsensical, yet hopefully enjoyable, After Movie Diner Season 2. Like all good sequels, in Season 2, you can expect us to ramp up the action, expletives, gratuitous mentions of James Spader's inner thigh, and of course, the gore. That's right, we're going to be rupturing earlobes, nastily prodding dangly viscera, pulling kneecaps off and splashing about in the goopy bits. Oh, I'm sorry, I got carried away. Calm yourself, Leanna. If you enjoy the show and have pursued the recommended treatment from your medical providers, why not support the show on Patreon over at patreon.com/aftermoviediner. You can also donate to the show directly at aftermoviediner.com. Rate and review the show wherever podcasts are found, and rating and reviewing is possible. Even a 1-star review provides useful insights on exactly the sort of petty-minded and wretched individual who negatively reviews free entertainment they do not need to be consuming. So, without further dribbling, please put down your lemon meringues, silence your bowels, and rub 2 nearby dogs together for the one, the only, John Cross.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Men Watch 90s Era Jim Belushi Films. And to start us off right, here I go. And let's see if I can remember this from 5 minutes ago. We are 2 middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi. 2 middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi. 2 middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi. And you can watch along with us. So that's our new theme song. And for instant reactions, because the internet loves instant reactions, here's my co-host, Matt Pereira.
Yes, that was fantastic. That is perfect.
Because if there's anything that the internet just eats up with a spoon, Matt, it's instant reactions to things.
Yes.
They love it when people who have never heard a song before that exists in the world hear a song for the first time and give an instant reaction.
Right. Yes. Yes. I the first time these kids, these Gen Z kids ever heard, oh, hey, Gary Hill, we got it.
Hey, buddy.
So, yeah, I mean, it's like the first time these Gen Z kids ever heard the drum part to In the Air Tonight. Can you believe what the reaction? And it's like, I don't remember life without that drum part. Like I just, obviously I was probably in the back seat of my parents' car in a car seat and hearing that drum beat, just understood that's how things are supposed to sound. Yeah. I guess there was no like shock for me on that. So yeah.
Sit down and watch while three youths sit down and watch for the first time Earth, Wind and Fire and can't believe that there was soul, funk or rhythm music before 1998. Look at these people in the 70s making music. What's going on? The audacity of people in the 70s to make music.
And the fact that they would be talking about dates in September as if they were such a big deal is just a shock to me.
Yes, it's fantastic. Anyway, the instant reaction to my shambolic playing of the new 2 middle-aged men watch 90s era Jim Belushi movies. Jim Belushi movies. Theme song music is what I meant to say. Instant reaction, theme song. Here we are. We've been doing Instagram content, prime and Instagram content all day. Because I don't know if you know this about me, Matt, but I'm pretty heavy in the meme sphere. I don't know if you knew that about me.
Yes. Yeah, you do great videos. I'm just gonna I'll post an image on Facebook or on Twitter. But you have those great videos of well, of course, you also have nicer landscape. I don't know if I decided to try to walk around Philly here with a camera. People would be swearing at me. Actually, they wouldn't be swearing at me. They'd be swearing at their friends, saying hello to them. So yeah, it's one of the things about South Philadelphia. Anybody who's been here before, you hear people that sound like they're arguing very violently with each other, and it turns out they're just saying hello, how you doing? Yeah, that's really it's like.
But that's really how it should be, Matt. At no point should life become calm, tranquil, or easy to understand. Life should be. If we've learned anything, Matt, because I was just having this conversation the other day, but I love it when old people say about, well, kids these days, they've just got it easy, haven't they? And I'm like, well, I mean, isn't that better than the alternative? It's the idea of life is meant to be pain, misery, sorrow, anguish, anxiety, and hate. I mean, life is meant to bombard you at all times with aggression and annoyance. That's how life's meant. How dare these children that we gave birth to and raised, but how dare these children that are our children, that are our fault, how dare these children have it so easy? Why, in my day, we had to chew on coal while someone beat us around the neck with a broken violin. And then we had to sing and dance on cobblestones till 4 a.m.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, I remember reading, I think it was The Beautiful and the Damned, F. Scott Fitzgerald novel, took place in the 20s, where they were saying that back then.
Matt dropping names, Fitzgerald, just flying around a Belushi podcast. Right. Sorry, carry on.
Yes, no, but like that was in the 20s, and that there was still that mindset of these kids these days have it so much easier. So like people that were born in the late 19th century were complaining that teenagers and 20-somethings in the 1920s had it too easy. Right. So it's like, this thing never ends. There's going to be a point where you're complaining about generation whatever is alpha. These kids have it too easy nowadays.
And people being like, look at all these children living till they're past 37 and not dying of the plague. How dare they? Back in our day, we lost most of the population of the world because we didn't know how to wash our hands because we were fucking mental.
Right, we were swapping diseases out of our trenchers with our trench mates on the side of these big, benches eating our stew. And
how dare they live to a healthier age and not die of dysentery at 28? Right. Kids these days, they have it too easy. Anyway, why do we go off on that? I don't know why. Anyway, we love the kids. We're down with the kids. Yes. That's why we're watching 90s Jim Belushi. Because first of all, children they haven't got a clue. They haven't even got a clue about according to Jim Belushi.
Right.
According to Jim Belushi. I mean, that's just a wasteland of not going to go there, right?
Right.
For children. Exactly. I mean, for children.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I saw a kid on Twitter yesterday because apparently Kevin James is the meme of the month, I guess, or something like that on Twitter. And some kid was trying
Kevin
to say
James,
that,
always the cutting edge.
Right, exactly. There was some kid who was trying to say that because there's this whole idea that, King of Queens, the schlubby guy with the pretty wife, that and this guy was trying to use according to Jim as the example that proved the rule. And it's like, according to Jim was a ripoff of King of Queens. Like it was meant to be like a nicer, boomerish, more middle of the country version of King of Queens. It's not like it was like, all of these shows have schlubby dads and beautiful women, including according to Jim. It was like, no, we're going to make the schlubby dad, beautiful wife show to be like King of Queens. Yes. The kids don't know enough Jim Belushi. They don't know according to Jim era Jim Belushi, let alone 90s era Jim Belushi.
And I have never seen an episode of King of Queens or according to Jim. So I can't. I assume what they are because I'm aware of what sitcoms are and I've seen enough clips for it to be like, oh, my wife's nagging me to not be such a farcical layabout again. Oh, God. How dare she think that I do anything with my dirty socks but just throw them casually in the corner. Oh, is she going to come round and demand that me, a grown man with a job and children, pick up my own dirty laundry and put it in the laundry basket? What a fascist. Comedy ensues.
Yes. Oh, and now because she's angry about me leaving the socks on the floor, here comes this huge ruse that I do to pretend I didn't leave my socks on the floor. And it's this huge to do with all the intrigue and everything. And then, of course, she finds out at the end anyway, and I'm in the doghouse.
Jim Belushi is Huge Ruse.
Right?
Huge Ruse is a great wrestler name. I want to be the Huge Ruse. That's incredible. Now I will come up with a Huge Ruse. That's fantastic.
I see like kind of a big bellied guy, like one of those southern like wrestler guys from the 80s that would like wear like the singlet or like they'd have the big belly and the long blonde hair.
Nothing better than a vastly overweight gentleman in a singlet.
Yeah, and they would do, and they really didn't even care if the fake punches even remotely looked like they landed. It was just kind of like bam, and they put the boots on the ground, and yeah, usually, and if they had a mustache, all the better.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, a giant man, an unpleasantly giant man in a singlet with a mustache. Are you kidding me, Matt?
Yeah, and a southern accent and a mullet. It's just, yeah.
That's got to be one of the greatest images of all.
Yeah.
And the Belushi, in according to Jim, would lap that up. That would be the wrestling he'd be watching when his wife comes in and goes, "Have you done anything today?" And he goes, "Yes, I've done lots of things." And then he looks at the audience and goes, "Wah, wah," because I haven't done anything at all. Wah, 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 wah. Anyway,
applause at the commercial. Yeah.
Applause at the commercial. Comes back with some light institutional music that fades over Jim Belushi still eating Cheetos on the
off his stomach.
All right. Matt, I can't help but notice that you are wearing a very special T-shirt tonight. That's
so we can show it in the box here.
This is because I'm rather hefty in the meme sphere, and so Matt has decided to watch the to wear the After Movie Diner T-shirt while appearing on an episode of the After Movie Diner. I'm all for it. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. But Matt, who is angry as hell right now?
I think Jeremy Piven, PCU, right? He's like, don't wear the shirt of the band when you go to see their concert. Don't be that guy, right? He was telling Jon Favreau, don't be that guy. Right. So I'm being that guy tonight. Right. But I figured, get the word out, go to the Threadless, get great After Movie Diner merch like this. I'm a fan of this shirt. I will be frank, I probably should have sized up on it because I'm getting into that wrestler mode, size wise, and so it's a little bit snugger on me than I would like it to be.
Cut it into a singlet. I would be fine if that's something you chose to do. But yes, I'm all for it. And as for Piven and Piven's pet peeve tonight on Piven's pet peeves, do you know what I've been wondering, Matt? What is Jeremy Piven thinking right now? Right. Well, apparently Jeremy Piven is disliking wearing band T-shirts. The band you're going to see. I disagree. I'm the guy who first of all, Piven, you're nobody to be handing down advice. Piven, be gone with your Piven-like ways. You dwarf gentleman who only dwarf balding. And wasn't he like sexually abusive or something to someone?
I think he was a Me Too guy. Allegedly. Yeah.
But anyway, this guy who only has a career because of John Cusack, flat out only has a career because of John Cusack, is telling me what T-shirt to wear. Piven out. Right. I've no time for you, Piv. I don't mind the film PCU, but I've got no time for you, Piven, and your wrong opinions. I wear band T-shirts to the band I'm going to see because I'm in celebratory mode for that band. I don't want to stand over in a corner, Piven, not wearing a band T-shirt and feeling bloody miserable. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be one of the cool men over by the bar going, well, I paid $150 to be at this gig, but, I'm nonchalant about the music. No, Piven, I'm going to be right up front, wearing the T-shirt, wearing the baseball cap, and singing along to the fucking songs. Anyway,
I think you've got, again, for people our age who like a lot of the people that we like to see in concert are dying off, when you could get to see somebody before they pass, I wish I had worn a Bowie shirt when I saw David Bowie,
right.
Because I did get to see him at least, but it's like, you're at that, we're at a point now where it's like, yeah, you want to celebrate them as much as you can.
Right.
But the fact that you're lucky enough to get
there.
there.
He would have seen you in the crowd and he would have gone, everybody stop the music. You've gone, I like it very much, Matt, that you are wearing a Bowie t-shirt at a Bowie concert. All right, more music. That's what he would have done. I think he would have been very into that. I think Bowie wearing a Bowie t-shirt and watching David Bowie. I think he would be all over that, Matt. And
at the very least, I would have been able to say, like, okay, I
did it.
It was, I
Ziggy Stardust and lived to see the story. No, what? I lived to tell the tale. That's what I lived to see the story. I don't know what I'm saying. I have had a mental collapse, Matthew. Already, we are only 13 minutes in, and my brain is already pudding. And we haven't even started talking about the Belushi movie of the evening. Matt, It's the equally sleazy or lack of sleazy, who knows, because I haven't seen it in probably 20 years. 90s, it's advertised as an erotic thriller, but it's not. That's how you have to pronounce it. Erotic thriller. It's advertised as that, with Linda Hamilton and James Belushi, the couple you've been aching to see on screen since.
Aching is a cooperative word.
Yes. If you thought Jim Belushi and Lorraine Bracco lit up the screen in Traces of Fred, you'd get your man beady eyes around this love nest. It's Linda Hamilton. What? The bird from Terminator? Yes, the bird from Terminator. And James Belushi. What? According to Jim Belushi. That's right. Yes. In Separate Lives. Now, Matt, I can't help but think that they missed a trick here and didn't have Phil Collins write the theme song. Because Separate Lives sounds like a Phil Collins song, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we've
it definitely
all
does.
been living separate lives. Like you can imagine it. One of his more ballady, like pop ballad, late era Phil Collins pop. Kind of either that or like Circle of Life era Elton John. But that's what we're thinking of when I think of Separate Lives. And I'm assuming that we're not going to press play on the movie Phil Collins. If that happens, Matt, my brain might explode.
I feel like Phil Collins at that time was too big for this movie. He was, they wouldn't have been able to afford him on the budget.
Because he did In Too Deep for Neil Jordan's Mona Lisa. That's obviously in the early 80s. You know I love you, but I'm in too deep. And Bob Hoskins was. Bobby Hoskins was In Too Deep with Call Girls in London. Check it out, though. Mona Lisa, great movie. Unlike Separate Lives, which is how I assume it would have been sung. We've all been living, separate lives.
There were like some lines about you're riding the tube as I'm coming home from work, and two ships passing in the night.
We're all too busy living separate lives. So I'm assuming that's not what that's about. Now, Gary Hill is saying, make the guy that did the first Blood song do the Separate Lives theme. I'm for that as well. I mean, we could go for that guy. We could go 80s hard man power ballad. We could get John Parr. John Parr, come on. John Parr up in this shit.
Yeah.
Him just being like...
What was it? Was it Tepper? John Tepper was the one who did the Rocky IV theme?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Something Tepper. It was a Tepper of some sort.
Yeah.
Who did that? Yeah, that one's a great one.
Yes. But no, this would be Sonoma's Fire era John Parr doing,
gonna be your man in motion. Gonna live your separate life. All I need is a pair of wheels.
We're gonna be living separate lives underneath these firing skies. where the eagles flies over above our separate lives. That's how it'll go, Matt. I think that's what we're talking about. There'll be lots of imagery of burning skies and eagles and shit, which, is basically what's happening in California every summer. Am I right or am I right? There we go. Right. Bringing it back with some topical humor, because the internet eats up topical humor like there's no tomorrow, Matt. And we are nothing as the two middle-aged men discussing 90s era according to Jim Belushi movies. We are nothing if not on the cutting edge, man.
Yes, this is the most current stuff.
Just so
Gary Hill mentioned that Jim Belushi is truly a man in motion. So yeah, we're talking about John Parr at St. Elmo's Fire. We are, newest music that's possible, like newest movies. Yeah,
didn't St. Elmo's Fire just come out, Matt? I mean,
exactly right.
In my brain, it comes out every year. And for one glorious Friday, I feel alive. And then I go back to realizing that nothing as good as St. Elmo's Fire will ever come out again. Who doesn't love...
we'll never have that Rob Lowe again.
No.
We'll never have that Rob Lowe. We've got a new Rob Lowe who does Skechers commercials and Atkins Diet commercials. We will never have St. Elmo's Fire Rob Lowe again.
St. Elmo's Fire Rob Lowe was cut from a different cloth, Matt. I mean, he thought that the height of sexual ardor was flapping his greasy mullet hair, sweat and all, like some kind of damp puppy all over the face of some adoring woman. He thought, Matt, thought that was the height of sexual ardor. And in that time, he was correct, 100%.
Yeah.
Because the woman in question was just like, give me more of your man juices, Mr. Roberto Lowe. And
it was like a kid watching MTV in the early 80s and saw, Hungry Like the Wolf and was like, I want to look like John Taylor.
Yeah.
Make me look like John Taylor. And, didn't quite pull it off. But
that's a great,
you got what he was going for.
That's a great song though. We could get the band that does One Love in St. Elmo's Fire when they would go. And then the next line is just around midnight, because every song in the 80s that didn't quite know what was going on in it had to be taking place around midnight.
Midnight. Midnights and diners. It was
One Love, just around midnight. Yeah.
Because I guess it rhymes. It rhymes with so many different things that, and it just sounds so ominous. I guess midnight just sounds right.
Midnight. It's like in the 80s we hadn't progressed much further than songs in the 50s that were about 15-year-old girls sung by sweaty 42-year-old men with enormous quiffs. Well, my baby's only 15. It's like, okay.
Because then we had Benny Mardones, who was like 16 years old. I'll take you up and take you into the night. And hopefully your dad won't catch me because you're just 16 years old.
Coming next week to Twitch, John and Matt sing the ballads of the 70s and 80s as they feel like it. Anyway, it's been 20 minutes. We should start the film, Matt. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to comment over the film, at points. But what we'll probably do is once we've got a good chunk of the plot underway, we're going to pause it, talk about that, and then go back to the movie, because that way I can edit it into a podcast a bit better. And also that way people actually get to watch the movie with us rather than just watching us talk over the movie. So, Matt, we're going to try that template tonight. Yeah. The Belushi template, which is also what we're going to be using to watch Belushi tonight. There we go, Matt, the Belushi template. We are in what I have called on StreamYard the Belushi template. That's me up here, Matt down there, and Belushi over there. Matt, how do you feel being in the Belushi template?
It feels beautiful. It feels apt. It feels like it makes it all feel right that what we're doing here.
Yes, indeed. So here we go. Separate lives. And then we'll be, we can make the odd joke, but in about 15, 20 minutes, we'll come back to do more commentary. Joe Bob Briggs style. We'll be back to do some more commentary in that in about 20 minutes. All right, here we go. Separate Lives, man. All been living.
Belushi's 16 years old.
Can you hear the film all right?
I can. Yeah, I can hear
Lionsgate and everything.
Lionsgate.
Good. I'm just checking because, we're streaming live and I want people to be able to.
I wonder if we may need to turn it up a little bit, maybe. I don't know the volume on that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Look at this. Is this I think this is the Vidmark, isn't it? The Vidmark?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trimark.
It's a beautiful logo.
Yeah.
The front of many 90s thrillers.
Thrillers.
Oh, listen to this music, man. Has any music ever said erotic thrillers better?
Now, I've never seen another Linda Hamilton movie that isn't Terminator, so this is going to be interesting for me. Separate
lives, and we've all been living separate lives.
How much Vera is in this movie?
A lot of Vera.
Miles.
A lot of Vera. Miles and miles of Vera. Elizabeth Moss of Handmaid's Tale fame.
Yes, Mad Men. Scientology fame, I guess, as well. I went to school with Josh Taylor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you think he produced this film?
He might have when he was 12. Yeah.
Look at the high-waisted pants. The high-waisted pleated pants on everybody.
Yeah.
That's how people dressed in the 90s. Like real men, Matthew. Like real men.
Yeah. They were very wind-proof if you're walking along the coast.
Yeah.
You could, the pleats. Yeah. The hair, not so much.
I haven't reached Lauren. I've called her, but she hasn't returned.
Oh, we got a bit of plot here, Matt.
I'm sure we'll connect.
You're gonna keep digging, aren't you?
I know it was 20 years ago, but I've got to try. Anyway, let's not talk about the case anymore. It's just too pretty out here.
I mean, is this a perfect day or what? Look at this.
Or what?
This is a perfect day.
You got your sand, you got your ocean, your sun.
Yeah,
This may sound a little radical, but
radical.
we don't really have to go back to that party.
Oh, really?
Jane!
Jane.
She's been shot!
And I bet he still votes Republican.
I was gonna say, was she shot or was that a soccer injury? Like a football?
Somebody call an ambulance! We need help here! Somebody!
That's what you do for living in Republican America. People can just go around shooting each other on feet.
But it makes the water look nice.
It does. Also, back in the 90s, cars were still cool.
Beckwith, Tom?
Yes.
Peckwith?
Our hero, ladies and
He is a
gentlemen.
baker. I don't baker here either.
I'm a student in Dr. Porter's psych class.
You don't look like a student.
Well, I'm a slow learner.
Well, la-di-da.
Belushi Zinger won.
I like the concern in your voice.
Thank you.
The scars. Oh, you mean the ones you can see?
Yes. Why do you cut yourself?
I like the pain. The pain makes you feel alive. It makes me wet. What about you?
It's that Ted Raimi. It's not Ted Raimi. But
You look Ted Raimi-ish, yeah.
Yeah, well, you probably only screwed one guy in your life, right? One guy to have and to hold. Well, guess how many I fucked?
How many?
I could fill Dodger fucking Stadium.
60,000?
Think about that, Lauren. Are men your enemy? Give her a lick.
You enjoy performing?
Yeah.
90s thrillers always thought this was incredibly like edgy.
I mean, we never know who our audience is, right?
Like it's always a fucked up like young 20-something who's into sex and self-harm.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Belushi's to the rescue.
Back off, nobody come any closer. Please stay back, Mr. Beckwith.
Who are you, lover?
Stay back, please, Mr. Beckwith.
Oh, what's the matter, Lauren?
The crew neck shirt is strangling him.
By the way, this would never be allowed.
No.
Linda Hamilton getting weirdly aroused by being cut by a 90s skanky lady.
And you should be. All those years, all that pain.
It's almost
Mother
Ross
wired
from
your mouth
Frasier.
with a spiked retainer so you wouldn't suck your thumb. The father who bathed you every night. The drunken boyfriends who beat you up just because they could.
Just because.
After a while, it must be difficult to tell the pain from
This
the
is the dramatic 90s psychobabble. Everyone's like, oh my goodness, what a therapist. I'm like, wait a minute, she let her person under her control go insane, throw chairs through windows, and cut her neck open. But just because she says a little psychobabble, everyone's like, oh, she's a brilliant therapist. No, she's not. She's awful. She let it get too far, Matt. Too far.
Right. Yeah. There's just a lot of cutting in blood there just to,
Could we get a nurse in here, please?
Belushi's like, I train as a nurse on weekends.
Yeah. I could do a really great butterfly stitch.
Hello?
Lauren, it's me, Ruth.
I
Yes?
don't know, Ruth.
Have you seen this morning's paper?
No, not yet. What is
I
it?
stopped reading the paper years ago.
God, you don't know. Jane Weiss was shot dead at a fundraiser in Malibu. My God. Who did it? They don't know. Isn't it bizarre? We just spoke the other day. She was working on something.
It's rated R,
We need
man.
to talk. I'll call you.
I went into that last scene thinking this was PG-13. Was I shocked?
Yeah. You can't make an erotic
Right,
thriller
let's go.
as PG-13, man.
No. Stallone would try, though, to get reach a wider audience.
Yes. And a wetter audience.
Dr. Porter's class?
Oh, it's Elizabeth Moss.
And this-
How did you know?
You're wearing the sport coat. Someday you should take it to the cleaners.
You think so, huh?
So is she pretty?
It's all right.
Look at all the ambient noise of them moving around this
Don't worry,
this
Dad,
house.
she'll
The
got it.
creaking wood, the leather
You think
suitcase.
so?
And also, why does every daughter have to be like, incredibly intelligent, more put together than their own father? You know what I mean?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Like all the daughters are like special children. You know what I mean? They're all like magic children.
Darlene's is a classic case of bipolar disorder. When she's depressed, she tries to hurt herself. And in the manic phase, her sexual compulsivity and violent impulses come out. Obviously, you will try to stop your patients before they get as far as Darlene did.
I mean, how far are you supposed to go? I can't stand the sight of blood, especially mine.
Took a hell of a lot of guts. I know a lot of coppers wouldn't tackle a situation like that.
Thank you, Mr. Beckwith. Look,
If by a lot of guts
sometimes
you
in
mean
order to understand
it was
what's really going on,
malpractice and
you have to
insane.
let things get a little out of
Yes.
control. Everything we do, everything we say, no matter how strange or violent, is an attempt by the self to express itself in its own language.
Matt, I hope you're taking notes.
Now, these attempts are vital.
Yes,
Sometimes they are all
What was
we
she saying
have.
about
An arcane cluster of clues from which we
So
have to try to
Jen
find
just
the
told me that
truth.
this stream was cut off at
In that
YouTube.
way, we're like detectives.
Oh, it was?
But
Yeah,
detectives with
it's
love.
going on Twitch. We're going well on Twitch, but
Not here to
Okay.
judge, Mr. Randall, but to solve
Yeah.
the crime.
Well, whatever. As long
to
as someone
enable
can
our
watch it
patients
somewhere.
to move past
yes,
it
She checked
exactly. I can try to get.
and to heal.
Oh, it's on Facebook as well. I can
See
ask
you
her
all
to
on
check
Friday.
Facebook. Yeah, let me.
Make sure you finish the Skinner by then.
For
And
Facebook
please pick
Live
up
as
your
well.
tests on the way out.
It's okay. I'm recording it. I can always put it back up on YouTube.
Okay, perfect.
We're only down to 2 people watching now anyway. We were up to 7, but I'm sure they tuned in and was like, where's Separate Lives? Why aren't they talking about Separate Lives yet? Because this movie has a small but very focused fan base.
Thank you for the aid.
No need to thank
She
me.
gave him an
You
A.
earned it.
He'd like to give her an A, if you know what I
That's
mean,
my
Matthew.
first one.
Mr.
I'm sorry. Will you sit down?
I'm going to have a Twix.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Cup of coffee.
This scene brought to you by Twix. Twix.
This is awkward for me. I know that before you came here, you used to be a police officer.
Checking out her
Oh, yeah, that
gown.
was, yeah. I was a detective in homicide.
You were.
I have a problem,
It's called a homicide.
and I need someone to do some surveillance work for me. To have somebody followed.
I could recommend some very good PIs if you'd like.
No, it can't be.
K9
stranger.
PI.
It's-
I have some German shepherds that might be able to help you.
Frankly, I don't know who else to ask.
Well, who do you want followed?
Me,
Oh,
Mr. Beck.
twist.
Oh, twist. That's a
I want you to
twist.
follow me.
I want you to follow
You could
me.
just record my movements for a few days. With a video camera, maybe. Not during the day. In my class time, I
Wait a
really
minute.
only
Wait a
had
second. Wait a second. Are you married?
No. Yeah.
No,
No.
divorced.
Are you having trouble with your ex?
Not in the least.
Married man?
He's an android,
A
actually.
lover?
No,
Student?
no,
Does anybody threaten you?
nothing like that.
Dr. Porter, if you don't give me some information, I may as well ask
Mr.
someone else.
Beckwith.
Mr. Beckwith.
Mr. Beckwith.
I've been having these episodes, blackouts. I will be getting ready for bed today upstairs, and suddenly it's the next morning, and I'm in different clothes. A few weeks ago, I woke up, and there was dried blood all over my hands.
Dr. Porter, this sounds a little...
Crazy.
I'm a shrink. Do you see the irony?
Come on, Mr. Beckwith. In my class, we don't use words like crazy.
Kooky?
Nuts, maybe.
Off kilter?
nuts.
Keep track of me, just for a few nights.
Keep tracking you?
Put your tracker in me. I mean, track me. I mean, please, just follow me around with a video camera and a saxophone.
That's what I was going to say. Could you cut that out with the sax? I'm trying to get some filming here.
Come on, this is 2 for 2 with Traces of Red for the saxophone.
Yeah, it's, you apparently you just can't do erotic thriller without sex. Ah, she's getting a ride.
Oh, she's getting in a cab. And you film me everywhere I go.
555-6623. I'm scurrying to the cab.
There's nothing I like more than watching Belushi run. Because K9 hinges on the Belushi run. The whole plot of K9 hinges on the Belushi run.
Yeah, I don't think he ran at all in Traces of Red, did he?
No, he should have run a lot more. He wouldn't have got shot at the end like a pillock.
Right. he was just stealing his partner's car the whole time. So he
This sounds like a small change era Tom Waits song.
right. They all live separate lives.
Linda Hamilton, Jim Belushi living separate lives. They were down at the Jarmusch movie with the hobos and the drunkards, where a chimpanzee priest was waving a gun around. Separate lives, he said. Separate lives.
Any movie could have used a chimpanzee priest.
One night down on Hollywood and Vine, where the junkies and the pushers and the pimps hang out. The ladies change in the backs of taxi cabs on their way to the all-night discotheque. And they're eyeing underneath a grapefruit moon.
Changing in the back of the cab is very David Sedaris or Daniel. Yeah, David Sedaris. Like, yeah, just.
And then this looks like a Frank Lloyd Wright building with all the tiles.
Yes.
That's all. That's the only architect I know, Matt. Please don't think that I'm in any way educated.
No, I know he's a big Chicago guy. Oh, there's Jim Jarmusch. We were just talking about Tom Waits.
Yeah. Belushi's glad he wore his dancing pants. Extra pleats. For extra moves. This movie has it all. It has every 90s cliche imaginable of what Hollywood thought, dangerous, edgy raves were, and what they're so not.
Right.
Oh, there's people dressed as robots doing wildly inoffensive dancing. There's Rick Astley's cameo.
Yeah, we need a Rick Astley cameo.
Oh, she's a cage dancer. That's the edge of eroticism right there.
Yeah.
The cutting edge of eroticism.
She's doing the crab walk. I could do that crab walk.
What's weird is halfway through the dance, she just lays an egg. An egg. It cracks open and a little deformed Eraserhead baby comes crawling out and dies coughing.
Right. And nobody else notices it at all, just Belushi. Everybody else there's just like, oh, it's a normal Tuesday.
Belushi looks around, everyone else is just making tequilas and stuff, and he's like, did anyone else see the Eraserhead baby jump out of the egg? And she was just shitting out on stage. 90s dance metal. I love how bad guys in the 90s wore crucifixes. Like they were vampires in a Joss Whedon show.
Yeah. Crucifixes and eyeliner.
And leather waistcoat. Men dressed as robots. Nobody knows why. Is this a robot club? Oh, he's got his synthesizer across 2 oil drums on stage.
Yeah.
How edgy that! Oh,
yeah, that is
badass.
Yes. Yeah.
What's next? He's going to destroy a Casio keyboard with a breeze block.
I just love that Linda Hamilton is not in her late 30s doing these dances with a bunch of kids. Look at Belushi.
I gotta use the little girl's room. You wanna come with me?
Was that a double entendre?
Come with you later.
Wait, is he English?
He might be.
Is he like
even more edgier. Even more edgier.
Leather waistcoat, crucifix. Because he's, he goes to church on Sundays. He's religious.
He's the biker's son.
But he's a bad end. Oh, okay. We've gone to commercial.
Yeah.
Michigan battling Nebraska. Anyway, I'm going to turn that off for a minute. So far, Matt, this has every 90s cliche. It's back on again. Back on again. Has every 90s cliche, and it's truly epic.
It's me, Carl.
Yes. Yeah, it's
You got the wrong girl, sweetheart. Not that I mind necessarily.
it's a little bit like Traces of Red feels like a more adult kind of thing.
Don't tell me I fucked you and I don't remember.
Well, Lauren. It is Lauren, right?
Guess again.
Lauren, wait a minute. I need to talk to you.
Catch me later. Maybe I can squeeze you in.
Because every woman in a 90s nightclub finds Mr. Beige chinos and green denim shirt, Belushi, unbelievably attractive.
You all right, Lena?
No problem, Keto. Just a little misunderstanding.
Keto?
Look, I don't want any trouble here. You could have fooled me, Squire.
Squire.
Coming in my club.
I'm the Artful Dodger, I am. Belushi could take this guy out with a fart.
What sort of world is it, eh? When a lady can't powder her nose without some shit-for-brains cocksucker fucking with her? Look, I might be on my way. That's right. You're going to get...
Look at this guy. Where they hired these people from? These didn't come from Henches R Us.
No, they were off the extras from the Wild Boys video shoot.
Come on, Belushi, you can take these bouncy shirt weirdos easily.
No, he's getting that. That's where that comedic falling came into play for him there.
Did you see him pulling himself down the stairs?
Yes. Well, would have been nice if like a whole bunch of cigarettes came out from.
Tough habit to break.
No, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
It should be cigarettes kill.
Yes, there you go.
It shouldn't be cigarettes tough habit to break because you've just beaten him up. That doesn't make any sense. It might make sense if you were beating up a monk. Maybe it would be a hard habit to break. Maybe that would make sense. But beating up Belushi and saying cigarettes hard habit to break. No. Weirdly creepy leather waistcoated British black-haired dyed Joss Whedon character. Fuck off.
Look at Belushi.
Belushi was put through the ringer.
What happened to you?
What the fuck didn't happen?
Oh my God.
Did I beat you up?
I went out.
Yeah, you bet you went out.
Oh, okay.
Are you saying you don't remember any of it?
No, I don't. Well, what did I do? Oh, did I see you?
Yeah, you saw me, Lena.
We'll come up with a name like Lena.
Is that what I call myself?
This is way over my head. You can take it from here. I need to talk to somebody who needs to talk about this.
You're the only Belushi who can help me. I need a schlubby man who gets beaten up by three men in blouses. That's what I need.
A week ago, a woman was murdered. A woman that I know or used to know.
I want
Jean Weiss.
to find out if I'm moonlighting as a sniper as well.
In Malibu. She was shot with something called the Sig
She was wearing these tidy whities.
I found that in my office drawer at home. It's not mine. It's a Sig, isn't it? And it's been fired.
That doesn't prove anything.
Wait, there's more. I also found this in my purse.
I wrote a confession saying I killed the woman. Oh.
The day of the murder. I don't remember where I was.
Look, that doesn't mean that you...
How else? What else could it be?
In case you're wondering, she's got high heels.
In your coursework, have you ever read about multiple personality disorder?
A little. Last semester.
MPD. It's a disorder that almost always arises out of childhood trauma.
Oh, childhood trauma.
And movie scripts.
20 years ago, my parents died.
This movie script has got everything, Matt.
Right. Yeah.
My mother shot my stepfather and then killed herself.
I was there. Mostly I
This
blocked
is called
it
the
out.
childhood trauma
Created
lament.
this other person.
An altar, it's called. Looks like mine killed somebody.
It looks like you killed somebody.
Hang on. Hang
Back
on.
in a minute, man. I'm still keeping it rolling.
Look, I want to check on the gun, private. While I'm at it, I want to check on your prints.
I'll get you a cup of coffee. That's right. Grip it really good. Yep. Get some prints on there.
Now, why don't you talk to somebody who knows more about this MPD? An expert?
I have a friend, Ruth Golden. I'll talk to her.
Meanwhile. Oh.
What do you see, Lauren? Talk to me, Lauren.
Oh, flashbacks.
Yeah.
Lauren?
Ruth.
Did you see your mother?
I saw butt cheeks.
It was just
I saw butt cheeks.
If your diagnosis is correct, maybe you should consider putting yourself in a facility where you can get some real help.
No, wait, I've got this schlubby middle-aged man who's going to follow me around with a camcorder.
Yeah, I'm going to go with this Belushi idea.
I don't think that's going to solve anything.
You need
Listen,
to put yourself in the
let's go with the Belushi idea for just a few more days, shall we?
I feel like it's going to work. I feel like we're getting somewhere with this.
No, I'm still waiting. Did Mrs. Mayer put you to bed?
I'm in bed. How many nights are you going to sit there waiting for her?
Don't you have school tomorrow?
So do you.
Yes, but I'm studying.
So am I. I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee.
Honey, how many times I got to tell you, you are too young for coffee?
I'll have decaf.
Go to sleep.
When are you coming home?
Look, I'll be coming home soon. I'll get you a buddy.
Along with being someone who can't fight men in blouses, I'm also the kind of bad father
Honey, I love you.
Daddy, I miss you.
who keeps his daughter up long past her bedtime.
Hi.
I feel so guilty you being out here.
Oh, it's all right. I'm studying.
As you can probably see, I'm having a little party. My father's new son. It's his first birthday. Would you like to come in?
Oh, no, it's your family. I don't belong.
I don't have a date. My ex-husband is making fun of me. You'd make things a lot
Yes,
easier.
if you, with your plaid shirt and chinos, came into my elegant house where we're having some kind of well-to-do dinner party, and I'm going to introduce the chubby, mulleted
It's nothing fancy.
giggle fest of Belushi.
The schlubbiness is just overall endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Squab is a staple in my house, except for we use ketchup with it.
Beautiful jacket.
Oh, look at that.
You know, I have one just exactly like
Luke
that.
Perry's dad. Dylan McKay's dad from 90210.
I've been trying to get you to clean out that closet for 2 years. Charles thinks we're still married.
And I let him play along because
Tom
I'm a
borrowed it because you didn't have time
pushover
to go home.
instead of the kind of hard 90s woman I should be.
Oh, listen.
Telling
Right.
this
I just talked to somebody
slimy
at the agents
side
about
parting
Jane.
sleazeball
They think there might be
to
a
take a
connection
long
between
walk
this
off a short pier.
What investigation?
The soap opera actor,
And Ruth didn't
dad
tell
from
you?
the Hogan's family.
Ruth didn't tell you what?
That you have a little tiny coffee cup in your
That
hand.
Jane was about to reopen the case about your mother?
I thought that was a suicide.
Oh, Jane never believed Margaret could have done it.
Did she talk to you about this?
She called my office the day before I was going to call her back.
This dinner party music in the background is perfect for a hard discussion like this.
The police might want to ask a few questions.
Did men in the 90s just have double-breasted coats sitting in their cars for when they needed to go to parties?
You think they'll still reopen the case?
Look, Robert, I know how hard
My
you
wife
tried
was
to...
no murderer. That inquest was out of a comic book as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Jane swore to me she had something. She had some new evidence.
Excuse me, I'm Tom Beckwith.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my father, Robert.
Well, I'm very pleased to meet you. Ruth was just telling me about
Crazy.
you.
This
Some
crazy
of it
man who hasn't combed his hair.
I hope
He
you don't
looks
mind.
like a hobo compared to the rest of
Oh,
us.
this time.
That's my father.
Hardly. You're right, Ruth.
Again, she's wearing high heels, in case you're wondering.
This is my father's work. Just had a
Creaky
retrospective
this
downtown.
floor is.
I know.
It took me 25 years to get it. Now I'm just along for the ride.
I like it.
I eat salad with my
Dark,
fingers.
weird. Self-pity.
Hi, darling. Your son needs changing.
This guy has a token younger wife. This guy, this Tom Noonan, Fraser Crane looking fuck. He looks like what would happen if Tom Noonan played Fraser Crane. That's what he looks like.
Yes, that's the character.
I understand you used to
She found it very endearing that he ate salad with his fingers. That's why she.
be alarm, Lauren, but I'm getting phone calls, threats from a woman. Frankly, it's scaring the shit out of me. I mean, not for myself, but for them.
Well, have you made a report?
Well, the police have a tap on my phone. Maybe you can give me a call when you have a second.
You all right?
Yeah, you just forget how loud those things can be.
You're a cop.
What'd you say?
Actually, you forget how loud these.
Is that my dog barking upstairs? I think it is. Hang on, I'll be back.
All right.
Tom? This wasn't the one that Tina used.
No, I got rid of that. This is a friend's.
Good. These cigs scar up real nice. I'll do your report. No one downtown has to know a thing.
Great, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
How's it going with Ronnie?
Ronnie's great. She doesn't have a boyfriend. Thank God.
And her father?
All right.
Yeah, he's kind of cute too. I could go for the
Times
father.
today.
Jesus. How much blame's a guy supposed to take, huh? You know, you gotta face it, pal. Tina was lost before you met her. What are you gonna do? You're gonna wrap up your willy the rest of your life just because a woman was crazier than you thought?
If you're lucky. If we're lucky.
Well, 3 years. They're celibate in their
What did I miss? Who's this woman?
She said, are you just going to wrap up your willy for 3 years
All you gotta
because
do is
of
say yes.
something with his ex-wife?
Okay. Every woman in this movie wants
Something
to
that
have
crossed my mind. It's just
sex
that somebody's husband might
with
put a hole in my
Belushi.
head.
Or mine.
He's depriving the lady world.
He is.
Volunteer, I'll let you know.
Imagine that, ladies watching this. There are no ladies watching this, but if there were ladies watching this, imagine this, ladies who aren't watching this. But imagine Belushi being off the market for 3 years. Can you imagine the anguish that women around the world would feel?
My wife Jen is watching. She could let us know what she thinks of the Belushinator being off the market
Being
for 3
off the
years.
market for 3 years. I think 50% of womankind would kill themselves, I think.
Yeah.
35-6.
Yeah.
Raiders lost.
I'm glad I missed it.
I'm never at home. He's
Doesn't
literally
mean that.
taken this case for like 2 days, and they're making out like his entire life he's been leaving this kid at home. This has been like 2 days. And then the music's all, why did you abandon me, father? And he's like, I'm getting some money, like I'm doing a job, you ungrateful little turd. Why don't you love me? Because you're awful, because you're always making me feel bad. I've done 2 nights' work, and all of a sudden I'm the bad father.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying, Matt?
Yes,
Come on now.
yeah, we've got this like David Lynch,
She likes you so much.
like
You should
Blue
let her
Velvet
check
music
her out.
playing, or Twin Peaks playing in the background. Doom, 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 doom.
You think I'm stupid? I'll scare the hell out of me.
Give her a chance. If you're not going to talk to me about stuff, you better find somebody else.
I'm a child who knows much more than a child of my age would normally know. I am wise beyond my years. I am a
I'm a
90s staple trope. Sorry.
I'm a schlubby dad making dinner for my wife.
Look for other examples of a child well beyond their years in any film that Natalie Portman is in, or any of the actors in American Beauty, which isn't at all a weird or creepy or off-putting film at this point in existence.
He got mustard on his textbook. Have trouble reselling that back to the bookstore when the semester's over now.
Oh, we got another. How far are we
USC.
in? How far are we in? We're in about 30 minutes. Let's pause it, Matt.
All right, let's give it a try.
All right. All right, we're pausing it, and we're going back to the two-shot.
The double.
All right, so let's recap. Where are we right now with Separate Lives? We've got the cliched shrink who has childhood trauma. We have multi-personality disorder, which, along with quicksand, is something that doesn't really exist in the quantities that it existed in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Because everyone had multiple personality disorders. We've got the 90s nightclub with people dressed like the Matrix, people dressed like Charles Band robot movies, people dressed like punks from the 1980s for no good reason. Oh, we've got the cliched patient at the beginning who has the not just the trifecta, but like the just all of the cliches. She's got the slutty clothing. She's a self-harmer. She talks about sex very frankly, Matt. Very frankly. She uses all of the sex words.
Right.
Very frankly. I've been fucked before, Matt. You know by how many men? You know this
Dodger
kind of
Stadium,
thing.
right?
Right, Dodger Stadium. She's violent, so that's all good. We've got Belushi. I think the only scene that I don't understand Belushi accepting is the scene where a bunch of blouse-wearing Londoners kick the shit out of him. Why do you think he allowed that to happen, Matt?
He wanted to show how well he could do the stage fall down the stairs. That was his. Belushi was all about showing his range in the 90s.
Right.
And when he read the script, he was like, I get to show, hey, my brother might have been one of the best, the best comedic actors of all time. I'm no slouch myself.
Yeah.
Watch me fall down the stairs here.
Watch me pull myself down the stairs on some padding. I'm believing Belushi did it for real, Matt. I'm believing he did it for real. So we've got the split personality shrink, who right now has done nothing worse than hang out at a slightly naff, cliched nightclub. Because all people listened to, Matt, was industrial trance in the 90s. There was no other musics. It was just boom. The whole time. That was it. She does nothing wrong. He doesn't really do anything wrong. A bunch of flouncy Londoners kick the shit out of him. His daughter, within minutes, Matt, of him not being home. Like, this is what, the third day, the second day, third day, something like that. And his daughter's just like, oh, Dad, I'm all alone outside on a swing. I mean, we talked about earlier, Matt, like kids having it easier. Like, I'm now the old man being like, shut up, Moss. You've got it easy.
Yeah. Well, at least she knew what she was going to be dealing with Don Draper,
right?
In the future. I almost like blanked. You were talking earlier about like kind of just like forgetting something. I almost blanked on Don Draper from Mad Men.
Yeah.
Like, my brain was just like, I don't know that name. But anyway, yeah. So
that's because we're middle-aged men, Matt.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We're watching Jim Belushi.
And is it still working? Do we know if it's working or not?
So I think it's not working on YouTube, but it is on Twitch and Facebook.
All right, I'm just checking on Facebook right now.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, and Jen did ask. She was like, she's not a Facebook user, but she was watching on Facebook. She was she asked about the Elizabeth Moss, and yeah, we were confirming that is Elizabeth Moss, a young Elizabeth Moss, who ends up being probably the most successful out of everybody in this film.
Yeah, it's not on YouTube, so I don't know what's happening there.
Something about, like, I guess that us playing the movie, somehow they figured out we were playing a movie, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
it's
either.
weird because they were okay with Traces of Red, but apparently this one, it was the Trimark logo. It set something off inside of YouTube and told it that we were watching a movie.
Like, wait a minute. Someone's watching one of those Trimark erotic thrillers.
Yeah.
And we can't let that stand, Matt. Not over here at YouTube. Why anybody cares, I have no idea. But okay, fine. We're not broadcasting YouTube. But once it's all done, I will upload the recording there and just be like, haha, YouTube, You can't stop the signal. Another Joss Whedon reference. All right, so we don't know what's going on. What do we reckon? I thought earlier, Matt, that she might be. Let's do the theories now. I think she is setting. There's two things. Either we're going to have another Traces of Red situation where Belushi's really the murderer, which wouldn't make a lick of fucking sense, but I wouldn't put it past this movie either. Because maybe he's living separate lives. Or Hamilton is setting up a crazy defense.
Yeah.
And Belushi is her unwitting alibi.
Yeah. So it could be that, and it could be that Ruth or somebody like Ruth is the killer.
Who's
and
Ruth?
They were using Ruth is the psychiatrist, the elderly lady, or the elder lady that is Linda Hamilton's psychiatrist.
Right.
Could be a Ruth or somebody like that is the killer.
Psychiatrists. Having psychiatrists. How much more 90s could it be for a psychiatrist to have another psychiatrist?
Right. It was like Lorraine Bracco.
Yeah, Lorraine Bracco, yeah.
Which she would have Peter Bogdanovich as her psychiatrist in Sopranos. That would have been interesting if Ruth had been played by Peter Bogdanovich dressed like Ruth. That would have been...
And Peter Bogdanovich in drag. It's okay, people. It's the 90s. As Ruth, the psychiatrist.
Right.
We didn't give her a last name because we didn't care. We just mad-libbed this movie from a bunch of 90s cliches.
I think if we were watching this today, if this was made today, we'd say that AI created it. That somebody just pumped all this stuff into an algorithm and it came out, and that's why I don't think AI will ever take off, because you can just make these movies for much more easily than you can use AI. This movie was probably shot in 10 days.
Right, because that's the other thing is normally in a film, especially if they're filming in like an old house, they'll redub in the voices and the Foley later on.
Yeah.
Rather than leaving in all the creaky floors and the clomp, clomp, clomp. So it sounds like she's wearing Wellington boot high heels. And yet this movie was just like, it's Belushi, it's Hamilton, it's psychiatrist, it's sexual 90s. Just leave in the creaky floors and the thump elephant shoes.
Yes. I mean, the Wellington boot, see, that would have been a much better like fetish kind of kink,
right?
If the woman in the first scene had a Wellington boots thing, and do you know how many men with Wellington boots I've had sex with? Dodger Stadium, it's like an old Dodger comes by with Wellington boots on it. I can't control myself.
Belushi. The only way Belushi can come after 3 years is to fuck a Wellington boot when she comes out to the car. When she comes out to the
catches
car,
him.
No.
I was gonna say that's her trauma, right? From years later when the sequel comes out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Separate Lives too.
Linda Hamilton.
Moss's trauma.
Right, exactly. But I guess Linda Hamilton comes out. She's like, I can't believe I hired you to do this. But now I see why you took the job.
You're still following me. 25 years later, Belushi's back. Hamilton's back. It's from David Gordon Green, the man who resurrected Halloween and resurrected the Exorcist franchise, much to the hatred and chagrin of me, because fuck David Gordon Green. But now he's here to come up and fuck up something else I like. 90s Jim Belushi. He's bringing Belushi back. He's bringing Hamilton back. He's bringing Moss back. It's Separate Lives 2, Moss's trauma. And then David Gordon Green comes out and goes, yeah, well, we just thought that there was so much story to tell that we've actually made it 3 parts. So the first part's going to be the film you kind of wanted to see, but not very good. The second film's going to be a little more of the movie you wanted to see from the first film, but again, not as good in other bits. And then the third movie is going to be nothing at all that you want to see and nothing at all that you like. And it's going to send internet discourse back another 10 years. Separate Lives 2, now a 3-part movie extravaganza by David Gordon Green. In part 3, he just replaces Belushi out of nowhere with
with Kevin James.
With Kevin James. No, he replaces Belushi with James Spader, and it gets really fucking weird.
Can you imagine James Spader playing any part that Jim Belushi has played? Like what he would want to do with that character? Like, I think what is the character's name? Whitlock or
in what?
I can't remember. In this film.
Oh, Breckenridge or something.
Breckenridge.
Or
Breckenridge.
Beckwith.
Yeah, he's like, I think Beckwith likes to go to the park and play old men in chess on weekends, and that's a big piece of what he does, And it's like,
and he does it
shirtless. That's right, exactly. Right.
It's just Spader sat there all puffed
up. Yeah.
Like
hitting
modern
the
bald
clock.
Spader,
Right.
Just being like...
Right. Yeah, just
and
moving
like,
pieces around. And
James, why is this a 20-minute sequence in the middle of Separate Lives 2 Part 3? Well, anyway, we can but dream that David Gordon Green, after royally jizzing all over The Exorcist and ruining for everybody, Gordon Green, he's going to come after the Separate Lives non-existent franchise. Unless he resurrects the K9 franchise. David Gordon Green makes 3 more K9 movies. And in the
K9
third movie,
PI
in the third movie,
Part 2.
He's replaced the dog with an angry chimpanzee.
Yeah, what would you have to pay Belushi to act opposite a chimpanzee, I wonder?
Probably not very much money.
Yeah,
You probably have to be like Belushi.
Just give him free advertising for his marijuana.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Belushi's stipulation to be in anything is that he gets to sing and dance over the end credits with Dan Aykroyd. That's it. And they're like, but wait, Dan Aykroyd's not in this. No, he's not in the whole film. But at the very end, me and him have to sing a blues song. Why? Well, because it's all part of the integrated marketing scheme that we're working on for our Blues Brothers weed. Because if we haven't milked Dan Aykroyd's franchises enough and made Dan Aykroyd enough fucking money, here we come with some Blues Brothers weed, as advertised by the lesser Belushi on his show on the Discovery Channel, Growing Belushi. Where every opportunity has to crowbar in Dan Aykroyd. And it's weird because Dan Aykroyd keeps coming on the episodes and talking about like what a Midwestern man Belushi, like he's a man that takes no guff. And I'm like, okay, but why are you telling me right?
Telling me anything.
Well, Belushi's an old school Midwestern man, Albanian man. And you're like, okay, but like, why do you care? Why aren't you just sitting somewhere on piles of cash with your inexplicably hot wife, Donna Dixon, going, thank goodness I put vodka in a skull. We can finally retire our bullshit. Anyway.
Yeah, the Dan Aykroyd thing, yeah, that might be where we have to go next is Dan Aykroyd.
Oh God!
But see, the Dan Aykroyd movies like Dragnet, and it's funny because you watch almost every Dan Aykroyd movie you watch. There's somebody who's carrying him in that movie. It's either John
weird.
Candy.
It's weird because he was the best one on Saturday, like during Saturday Night Live. He was. Yeah. He's far my favorite because he does voices and characters and wigs and like he gets into the parts. But then when they put him in the films, they kind of either he's like the very straight-laced one who speaks very quickly, or he's the like lovable rube, or he's or he's the straight man, and you kind of go
man, right? To like a John Candy.
But I love John Candy, but I mean, why we didn't get a series of? But it's a bit, to be honest, it's a bit like Jason Sudeikis. Jason Sudeikis on SNL was by far like one of the best in terms of like wigs and makeup and voices and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that Ted Lasso isn't good or whatever. I enjoyed it, and it was a good series. I thought the first series was great. I thought the second and third series not so much. But but he's not done a series of like character driven comedy films. Dana Carvey is another one. Like when he tried to do like Master of Disguise, it's not a good idea.
But it's a TV show where he tried a variety show. Apparently there's a documentary about the variety show that he tried because it had so much talent involved with it. Like so many people that you recognize as like famous comedians now.
Steve
they were
Carell,
all writers.
Louis C.K., a whole bunch of people on there. And
yeah,
it's on Hulu.
That's right. Yeah.
He tried to do like a sketch show. And the very first sketch they filmed was him dressed as Bill Clinton, milking with several cats, suckling at like multiple teats. Like Bill Clinton had like 8 cat nipples and he had like kittens and that was the first sketch of the whole Dana Carvey sketch show. And I think everyone at NBC just looked at each other and went, no, we can't have a Bill Clinton feeding cats from his many man teeth. Although I don't know why not, because that's glorious. Anyway, back to Separate Lives. We've got another hour to get through of this film, so let's jump back in. I'm enjoying it, Matt, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Belushi method, because that's all she's got going for her. Everyone's like, you should get help or check yourself into a sanitarium or tell someone about it. No. What you don't understand is I've got a tweed-shirted, beige chinoed wearing Belushi, and he's going to just knock about my existence for a while and probably either solve the case or get killed in the process. So anyway, we're back in the Belushi layout. We're in the Belushi layout, and we're starting off Separate Lives. Any more to say, Matt, before we go back to the movie?
No, I'm ready to go. Let's
roll the Belushi.
I always love Belushi Detective in the Precinct. This is kind of my favorite Belushi.
Oh, look at this guy as well.
Son of a bitch. No, not you.
90s comedy. Oh, look at this guy with the mustache and the red face. He's incredible. I want Belushi partnered with the other guy, not the sleazy goit with the ponytail.
I have no.
He's wearing Belushi's tie from Traces of Red.
Everything's turned upside down since you left. Hey, I got an opening. City Council just approved 500 members.
You don't quit, do you? Man, those promotions went right to your head, didn't they?
Hey, we'll fix it up. Shit, with your record, 40 accommodations. Come on now, you belong in psychology like I belong in the priesthood. Proceed.
Wait, they promoted this guy, and Belushi has like 40 accommodations.
Old times.
Because he's Belushi, the best cop that's ever copped,
Look,
ever.
I need the ballistics and the bullets that killed Jane Weiss.
Why?
Don't ask me.
Gets beaten up by 3 men in blouses, but he's the best cop that ever copped.
Thrown into a cigarette machine. Look at the mustache guy is watching this.
Weiss was investigating a 20-year-old murder case.
He's
Old
like,
friends of hers.
He's like,
she asked a shitload of questions.
He's in the background
2 days
eating
before she
pork
died,
pies furiously.
loose end.
yes. Oh no, he's not there anymore. He was there before.
Evidence of harm on the scene. After all these years.
Brushing the mustache off.
Anyway, who knows what it is?
Give me the test.
Before he finally just keels over.
Right? Maybe that's what happened. He killed over.
Trust me, no.
So,
Belushi was like, "What's that commotion?" Terry just died. Was it the pork pies? It was the pork pies. Look, there was a female black cop walking past him. That's diversity in a Jim Belushi movie in action right there. Belushi's like, they can't accuse me of racism now. We had a black woman walk past me on the precinct steps.
Oh, that looks great.
As if he even had to line it up. We could tell just by looking at the pictures, it's the same picture.
Right. He's having trouble driving now. That's why he had to line it up, because he can't go straight. He's like, oh, yeah.
Well, he's the hardest cop who ever copped, and cops like him don't obey the rules, man.
Only Prince and a gun with
Oh, the Ford Taurus.
No
Nothing
doubt
says housewife
Jane Weiss
like
was
the Ford
killed with a
Taurus.
gun from your purse.
I also like that the rebel parked in the police parking spot, even though he's no longer a police person.
Yeah, right. Well, 40 accommodations, you know.
Yeah, 40 accommodations. I'm fucking parking City Hall if I want to. I practically own this town, Matt.
I have to turn myself in.
That's a terrific idea. Why don't you foxtrot right into the police station and ask them to electrocute?
Yeah, foxtrot right in there.
You come to me, practically on the floor, begging me to help you. Now it gets a little scary and you want to back out?
Back out?
Yes, that's right. You wanted the no answers, right? Maybe you are guilty. Maybe you're not. Maybe somebody's trying to frame you.
Who would do that?
I don't
Ruth.
know. Let's find out.
Doesn't make any sense.
Lauren, look, I didn't ask you to get involved in this, but now I am. And you owe me the time to find out what's really going on here.
Going on here.
You understand me?
What do you want me to do?
You didn't miss much, except that he said, "You owe me the time to tell me what's going on here."
Right.
Charles.
Again, it's another thing where she's like, I should put myself away. I should give myself up. And people are like, nope, you should stay out in the world, make sure more people die, and trust Belushi to win the day.
Right, exactly. Was that the English guy? Oh, is he going to get killed?
Who can tell?
Belushi's getting it back.
Belushi loves attacking men naked.
For a spot of tea and some crumpet.
Oh.
You limey fuck.
Ooh, okay, we don't know if we need
Read you
slurs.
your rights, but I'll let you go.
Right in the butt cheeks.
Now that you're in a talkative mood, tell me everything I want to know about Lena.
Lena? Shit! I've only known her a couple of months. Why? What'd she do? Finally kill somebody, did she?
Kill somebody? What do you mean kill somebody?
Did she?
Oh, I don't know. The bird's fucking mental. She wanted to know if I wanted to do the job.
What fucking job?
On the butt cheeks again. Oh, girls.
Wait, this English man has a neon sign that says girls, girls, girls on it. That's
He's a Molly
fucking
Crew fan.
hilarious.
I swear it. I'm just an ordinary bloke. You know what I mean?
Belushi says,
I don't know what bloke means.
what says
Speak English.
masculine 90s better than me beating up on a skinny naked guy?
He's got a neon sign in his apartment.
Jesus Christ, you're crushing my fucking lungs.
Let me explain something here. I'm asking the questions.
Just
and you're
wait,
answering.
wait,
That's
like-
how this works.
Just to make sure that this isn't gay or anything, can you put a big sign on the wall that says girls, girls, girls? Because people might think me wrestling around with a skinny, twinkish, naked
I've only known her for
Englishman
a couple of months.
could be
She
misconstrued.
sleeps over a few times a week, but she's always gone by the time I wake up. I've never been to her place. It's on Kingman Street. I don't know the number.
Kingman Street.
Belushi is sweaty. The Englishman is wet. It's the most sexual scene in 90s cinema. Belushi and the squinky, fucking wet Englishman.
Oh, the girls neon sign.
That
I think
just says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's supposed to pull you away from the butt cheeks that are getting
Yeah.
kicked, and yeah.
By the way, this is a 90s thriller. And that's the only nudity we've had so far is a dude.
Yes. Yeah, we already had like 3 or 4 pairs of boobs by this point in Traces of Red.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. I didn't realize that was a ponytail that the dad had.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a necklace or something. It's a ponytail.
Mind, of course.
Did they just stick it on there? Like what?
Boy, would you look at this?
I love fucking Tom Newton.
Damage from the quake, huh? It was. Old
Tom
neighbor told me
Newton,
they were gonna
Fraser
tear it
Crane.
down.
Well, hello,
Just can't stand to
Niles.
see it. Mind if I ask why you and Margaret got divorced? Well, I loved her. Not for a bank account. It was the society that she lived in. You know, it was old money. Circles within circles. I couldn't work my way. You know, I just couldn't do it. I hadn't earned my way. How did Lauren feel about her stepfather? Well, as you'd expect, she hated seeing Margaret and I separate.
Why would I expect that?
Marriage crushed her. You know what? I'm going to put a down payment on this place. I'm going to restore it.
But first, I've
Yeah,
got to
beat
go
the
to Seattle and do my radio show.
Have you received any more anonymous phone calls? Last night, the voice said, if the police don't stop investigating Margaret's death, that I'll get the same as Jane Weiss got. And if that doesn't stop them, Warren's next.
Warren's next. Oh.
This is going to be hell
on
earth. The world's toughest
It looks like hell on earth.
He's back.
Tara Reid.
This is not a game show. Special Forces World's Toughest Test. Only Mondays at 9 on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
It's like a bunch of people in the Midwest who just got massive erections.
I can watch that after.
Tough on Fox. Coming up.
I can't wait to watch that after The Masked Singer.
No, go ahead. That's right.
I was going to say, I can't wait to watch that after The Masked Singer and Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, right? Tough men being tough with each other. Tough men. The mountains. Fuck. Men. Toughness. Coming this fall. Yeah, because all like sexually promiscuous, leather-clad, during the day psychiatrists have books on magazines on guns and ammo.
Right.
That's
and
weird.
just empty.
She has a gun, and she has a magazine about a gun. Maybe that makes her guilty.
Plus, she also has Chinese food boxes all over the place. So she obviously was a woman who can't cook for herself. Is that because I think in the 90s that was still considered a bad thing too, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Rib.
I like the sweater.
Yeah, rib sweater. Not a lot of ties in this movie. It's a lot of sweaters and plaid shirts.
Right. Beckwith.
Oh, this is where we find out.
The Beckwith Files. It's like the Rockford Files. That could be the new TV show on CBS. That does not look appetizing.
Looks good.
Maybe in a box in a jar? Like what?
I'm sorry.
Real men can't cook. They can just about manage meatballs and spaghetti. But anything more, Matt, if they made anything with a dressing, it would be considered far too effeminate. 90s Belushi man.
Yeah, piles of spaghetti. That's it. Well, the daughter's got her Los Angeles Raiders football.
Yeah. Do you know how this moistened spaghetti makes me think of? It makes me think of the moistened buttocks of the man that I beat up while he was in the nude last night. I sat on him and everything. He was wet,
sit.
just like this wine.
No.
You never let me do anything. You treat me like a baby.
Ronnie, now knock it off.
Knock it off. Yeah, I think the spaghetti is a metaphor for that man.
Definitely.
I'd be really mad if I were.
It's kind of like how Iranian film under the Islamic, they have to
You
like
don't want me here.
use metaphors for everything. So
Care?
same idea.
He doesn't pay attention when the two of you are alone, does he?
Sometimes.
Oh, psychoanalyzing moss. Nobody gives a toss about you psychoanalyzing moss.
So, when
This
there's
scene
someone
is
else
filler,
around, you might
and
as well not
nobody
hear it.
cares.
Hurts
Or
when
a
you're there,
tortured
somebody doesn't
daughter,
know anything.
blah, blah, blah. Wait till the David Gordon Green sequel, you moss.
Tell me.
Your dad doesn't have a collection of Wellington boots, does he?
I'm not a
Yes,
little girl.
and weirdly,
anymore.
they're all sticky.
He doesn't know it. And it's like I got to worry about him and school, and that every girl in class makes fun of me because I don't dress like a girl. And I can't even tell him how I feel because he doesn't even really.
She's dealing with just so much, Matt, that the audience doesn't care either.
I do, honey.
Why is it so important that spaghetti and meatballs serving up
Stand up for me,
Belushi
Ronnie.
have a healing moment with his
Go ahead.
daughter? Can't they just eat their meatballs in peace? I mean, that entire plastic bowl of pasta is going cold
Go
before
on.
my very eyes.
I can't even imagine what that tastes like
I like
cold.
your style.
Yeah.
I like your shoes.
like yours.
You want to try them on?
Seriously?
What this scene is saying is this little girl needs a mummy. Because in
Yeah.
the 90s, Matt,
Yeah.
all families were happy. Men and women families, Matt. It was men and women with a child, and that's what happiness was.
Yeah. The whole 60s widower thing was gone, right? There's no more, My Three Sons and Andy Griffith Show. Yeah.
They look very hip on you.
Hip?
What?
After you ought to tell those girls at school to stuff it.
Stuff it.
We're going to be a knockout.
Speaking of stuffing, I'm going to get some more of this spaghetti if you kids ain't eating.
Yeah. Belushi is like, if this was the setup according to Jim, I would have eaten this entire bowl of spaghetti already.
Right.
And,
And my wife would have looked askance at me.
My fat friend who hangs around, we found an actor even schlubbier than me, and he's going to hang around and eat spaghetti with me. And where's the comedy? Well, it's men eating spaghetti. That's hilarious.
As the wife looks askance at them.
It's funny, you see, because the wife looks down on her husband.
Yeah. Probably waiting
for
for
being
me.
an awful fuck.
Let me help you with that.
This music, Matt.
I know.
You want me to open the door for you?
This feels like a Hallmark movie, like
You want me to open the door for you?
the out of work actor and actress have just found puppies, and here it is.
She's changed.
Lauren, you all right?
Of course.
I'm just turning into somebody else.
Just say something.
It's listening to
Tomorrow.
Wait.
Oh, I thought she was going to cut his neck the way that woman did in the first scene.
He runs to the car and grabs a Wellington boot, humping it, just viciously humping it.
Good night, Charles.
God, I love that man. Oh, I thought it was a commercial.
Here we go. Childhood trauma 101. I love it when they show white kids culturally appropriating Mexican birthdays.
Yeah, it feels like the look of it feels like a Simply Red video or something like that. Like, it's like one of those supposed to be Mick Hucknall as a kid. Right, exactly.
I was just drawing some hot water. Thought you might want to take a bath.
Who starts running a bath preemptively? You ask someone if they want a bath. You don't go, I just wasted a bathtub of water. Did you even want a bath? Also, why is she entertaining this twazzock? Look at that yellow sweater.
Are you sure that I shouldn't be sleeping in that other room with you? I mean, what if you start sleepwalking in the middle of the night and I don't know?
What if you're walking through the house and you don't see me, even though I'm wearing this bright lemon V-neck sweater? Like a plum. Like a fucking idiot.
You know, maybe you just been sleeping alone too long.
One of us has.
Blah, 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 blah.
Don't wait up. I might be in there.
I'm just going to keep my hands in my pockets the whole scene.
Why does
Never
she
leaving.
edge this guy on? Why does she leave this whole guy on? She's a horrible human being. Like Belushi's over here,
right?
Yeah, Belushi's over here struggling with the rigors of being a father. Meanwhile, she's just with her ex-husband being like, I'm not going to fuck you, but like, I'm going to keep touching you and kissing you just because, you know, I mean, she's awful.
Yeah,
I mean, he's awful too, so it's kind of funny. Like, he's a plum too, so it's like the plum leading the plum.
Right.
I'm just saying, Matt, that she's a terrible human being.
Yes, no, I agree.
Is Lauren there? Thomas. Damn. Hello?
Belushi knows there's
My daughter
trouble.
alone.
Knows there's trouble. Belushi has heard the sound of crime because his ears are finally attuned to the sound of crime.
That's 40 combinations right there.
Belushi, attuned to the sound of crime. That's why. Who had carpet in the bathroom? What kind of heathens? What kind of backwards heathens would have fucking a bathtub? Look, maybe a shower, but like a bathtub next to fucking carpet.
Yeah, knowing that you're bath drawing people.
Where you going?
Right.
Nowhere with you.
Ooh.
Oh, she pushed him down the stairs.
I thought you gave him a little "How's your father" on the way by, but no.
Yeah. a little house. Just squats over him and lays another egg, and another little emaciated baby crawls out. Because she's been impregnated by the alien.
Right.
The alien that her and Sigourney Weaver fight in the crossover movie Alien Meets Terminator. That never got made, but should have got made. You went to the nightclub looking for me, but I broke in your house and I took a shit in your oven. I had sex with your fridge. And I wiped the dirty bits all over your fruit.
Oh, this can't be good.
The babysitter's asleep.
That
can only mean one thing. Childhood trauma coming up for Moss.
Yeah, we've got the sequel. We got the setup for the sequel right here.
Matt, let's have a play-by-play of this childhood trauma.
Wait, what did she do? Did she electrocute that lock, or did she have a gun with a silencer? Oh.
Yeah.
Another gun.
Play-by-play of the childhood trauma. Moss quietly asleep. Babysitter quietly asleep. There's a masked person in the house who's broken a window, got a gun, and is coming into my room. It's play-by-play childhood trauma here on 90s all-time every time.
Okay. They were like, should we do a childhood murder? No.
Kill the baby, kill the baby, kill the baby. Oh, no, we can't kill the baby. We can't kill the baby.
I could have killed the baby.
Yeah.
Belushi so far not earning his accommodations whatsoever.
No.
He's
got
no closer to what's going on than he was months ago when this started.
Yeah, exactly.
He's wandered into This was definitely filmed on the set of a 1998 Skinamax movie. 110%.
Stick 'em up.
Like every softcore porn film has had a scene in it in this set.
Yes.
What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah. Debbie Harry was. I can't remember the name of the one that she did, but that was. This looks like the.
Debbie Harry did a erotic thriller.
Yes. What was it? Oh, why can't I think of the name of it? It's on Tubi now.
Oh, okay.
I'll do a real time lookup while we're.
Hand me those, would you?
No, actually, I won't.
Is it unethical if we have sex? Because your other mind or other personality wants to have sex with me but won't. And you don't even know who I am and you want to have sex with me.
I'm studying to be a psychiatrist. My name is Tom Beckwith.
Tom Beckwith?
I couldn't remember who I was playing in this movie.
Tom Beckwith. I'm a character from a Charles Dickens novel.
You got a cigarette, Tom?
Don't you hate that noise? That noise is in all erotic thrillers where they go like they breathe like.
Yeah.
Like that
there's
noise
something
is in all erotic thrillers.
Yeah, it's something about breathing and smoking cigarettes that they just need to Foley it.
Yeah.
Mental or otherwise. Except one. I don't think you can take care of it.
Hamilton wanted to do this role so she could play.
Maybe I can solve it.
Both parts.
You'd be surprised. I have a very good teacher.
What's she like?
How did you know he was a she?
Be surprised what I know.
Uh-oh, we have cracks in the...
Maybe I could teach you a thing or two.
I'm sure you could. The two of you even look alike a little.
Is that right?
It's wrong, actually.
Is that why you've been following me around town? Because I remind you of a teacher?
No. No. I just want to talk.
Oh, just talk? Guess you must not think very much of me.
I think you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. What do you say we get together sometime? Cup of coffee? Get to know each other? Maybe you gotta get something off your chest.
Why?
Do you want to get something off my chest?
Is that a pickup line?
I'm not even on your couch yet.
It's like cleaning dinner, like this.
Do you like the foley of the stubble? Did you hear the foley of the stubble?
Go for a
The little,
moonlight
like,
walk. Up around Malibu. You been to Malibu?
See, this is where Belushi has to use his
I've been there,
psychological know-how
You ever kill
to
anybody?
get to the core of this woman.
right. His undergrad, not quite degree, his 100 credit hours in psychology.
Right.
If you want to find out about it, you're just going to have to keep following me. Not tonight.
Wait. You want me to open the door for you?
No, baby. I want you to go home.
Want me to open the door for you?
That's the best line you could come up with, Belushi. Like, don't you know who my brother was? Come on, please have sex with me because I'm related to John Belushi.
Tommy!
Oh, she took his keys. Oh, she threw his keys in the trash. So we can't follow her.
Foiled by keys.
The police officer allows his keys to be taken off of him.
Where are we in the...
All right, next time we'll go to your place.
We're an hour
Like an
in.
hour.
Got 30 more minutes.
She sprained his ankle coming out. The trash. The trash.
Under immense pressure.
Men.
How many
More men. One woman and lots of men. On
Toughest
Fox.
tough test.
Men together, being tough, in a mountain. One blonde woman, just so that it doesn't look too suspicious.
Right. I think the blonde woman is Tara Reid, which is even better.
Yeah. One woman and several men being tough. Did we mention how tough the men are on Fox this fall? Tough men and one woman, but mostly tough men on Fox. Can you imagine? Somewhere in the world right now, Matt, there's a pianist and a trumpeter sat at a bar in the middle of nowhere, like a dust bowl town, like in Utah or somewhere. Just tumbleweed going through the town, a little wooden bar in the corner, and there's a trumpeter and a pianist sat at the bar nursing their wounds with whiskey, neat whiskey. And when the bartender asks them why, they said, "We did the soundtrack to Separate Life."
You did good, kid. You did good.
Back in my day, when film soundtracks were just two guys, a pianist and a trumpeter, playing the music my forefathers.
I went straight into the bathroom and got home.
Ruddy Mustache Man has returned.
Right.
He's
You didn't see him.
Ruddy face.
Ruddy Mustache Man. Let's see if we can see him in the
What was your
background
ex-husband
there.
Belushi's like, I mean,
sick.
how many
Charles
jean
opened
shirts,
up to me.
plaid shirts,
You always decided
fucking
to help.
beige Cheetos did Belushi consume in the 90s? And I'm saying consume because every time he finished a movie, he inhaled his wardrobe.
You know how this works. Or have you forgotten what it means to be a cop now that you're a college?
Oh, whoa,
Sick
whoa.
burn. Because cops aren't allowed any education. But if you're getting an education, you're a wussy. Sick burn.
He's going to so attack that guy while he's taking a shower tonight.
It was 2 bullets. He's like so close to a coronary.
Dr. Porter, it looks like we're going to have to ask you some more questions down at the station.
You going to charge her, Miller? You can charge her, and I'm sure the lady will be happy to join you, but you got no murder weapon, you got no witnesses, and you got no motive.
And there you are.
You can take her in, and she'll be sprung in a minute. And then your careers will be fried by the LA Times.
You've been a big help.
You've been a big help.
I need to go sit down. I'm out of breath.
Can you drive me to the hospital? Can you drive me to the hospital?
I don't think this chest pain is heartburn. I think I need to go.
Can you drive me to the hospital? I'm in pain.
So now
I'm in tremendous amounts of pain. What is this now?
Mrs. Maher.
Oh, the babysitter.
Yeah. Not Bill Maher's mom.
I hope not. Bill Maher's such an asshole.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Bill Maher.
Yeah.
I used to
But
think he was okay back in the day, but now he's just turned into my dad.
Right?
Do you know what I mean? He's just turned into the guy who's just like, look at all these woke people. And you're like, oh, God. There's only one thing worse than being woke, and that's being the person who says, well, look at all these woke people.
Yeah.
That's the only thing worse than being woke.
Right. It's the people that freak out about,
Jeez. Tommy, you shouldn't keep your front door unlocked. Any
Is
note off the street to walk
Ponytail
in.
Man going to be the real murderer?
You just killed somebody.
A ponytail guy would make a great sniper.
Yeah.
Thought I'd steal a beer.
Yeah.
Well,
Him and let's pause here. I want to pause here. I want to go into theory mode about now that Ponytail Man has made a resurgence.
Tom.
Made a resurgence. Now that Ponytail Man is back in the movie, it opens up a wide possibility because he is the third act. Red herring you didn't see coming, and are we meant to think that him and Linda Hamilton are in some form of cahoots in order to get Belushi because of reasons?
Yeah.
What? Oh,
Yeah, we're
what if
working in that way.
Ponytail Man was in love with Belushi's ex-wife who killed herself, and he blames Belushi for the death of his, even though she was Belushi's wife and she was having it away with Ponytail Man. Wait.
If we get a Ponytail Man love scene flashback,
Yeah.
The ponytail got a flap and he's like all sweaty and flapping.
She's like, I beat up the British guy naked. Now I want to go mano a mano with ponytail guy. Only this time I'm the guy wearing the towel and he's the guy. I don't know. So I don't know what's going on. It's a classic movie of, do you think we should do the right thing? No, don't do the right thing, and more people will die. But it's all right because Belushi was there when they died. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And I think that what this has failed to do is to show any eroticism or even, let's say, anything remotely thrilling.
Right. I thought that you couldn't do worse in a erotic thriller femme fatale with Lorraine Bracco. And I discovered with Linda Hamilton, you can get worse. You can get worse than Lorraine Bracco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Matt, you get 2 Hamiltons for the price of probably 2 Hamiltons. She probably went, wait, if you want me to be in this film, it'll be my only non-Terminator related film that anyone will ever remember or talk about. I have to be paid twice. That's probably the only way she agreed to be in it. 2 Hamiltons for the price of 2 Hamiltons, and 1 Jim Belushi for the price of half of John Belushi.
Yeah. This, I'm wondering if we're going to come up with one of those twists where Belushi ends up in a jail cell at the end, and he was sort of framed for the whole thing.
Yeah, and then it just says, then there's just credits that just say like 40 years later, and it cuts to the trumpeter and the pianist sat at a bar in a dust bowl in Utah, knocking back whiskey, and they're like, back in our day, when we made movie soundtracks, there was just 2 guys, 1 pianist and 1 trumpet player, and then just pans over to Belushi, and 1 Belushi, and it just ends. It just rolls the credits. But weirdly, even though it's not on cable, it still rolls the credits really quickly, like it was on cable.
Just get
because everyone in the film was embarrassed to have anything. They were like, I know it's going out on VHS and I know it's going out on premium cable, but can we still run the end credits as if it was on network cable? Because we really just want our names to go whizzing past. And can you have like a weird promo pop in from like AMC or something?
Be like 2.5 Men's up next.
Yeah, right? Exactly. 2.5 Men up next. Oh, goody. And then following 2.5 Men, a deluge of misogynist wank, comes Tough Men on Fox, being tough with lots of other men and 1 woman. But mainly lots of men.
Tara Reid.
We think the woman is Tara Reid. This has not yet been confirmed. What non-threatening early millennial actress can we get to be on this show about tough men being tough on Fox?
Right. It's just like all the same things too. Just like hanging from something, falling off of something,
Look at this
breathing
guy.
hard.
Yeah, look at this guy in fatigues hanging from a rope. Half the male population of America just gets massively erect. Look at this other man in fatigues flying a helicopter to the other man who's hanging off a rope. At this point, everyone in the Midwest has ejaculated.
Right. And then there's a commercial where a monkey throws a baseball and hits a guy in the balls, and they think that's hilarious, right? It cuts the tension of the toughness. They're just like, oh, that's the best. That's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Now cut back to the man dangling from the rope.
Monkey whales guy ball.
Right.
And it just says, drink Budweiser.
It's like, of course.
People have no idea what it's got to do with anything. But they are drinking shit tons of Budweiser.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's the world we now live in, Matt.
That's it. We're going back to the world of 90s era Belushi, where things were much simpler, where the sweaters were ribbed, the pants were pleated, the ties were ugly,
and
it
the
all made
shirts
more
were
sense.
either denim or plaid.
Or black, right?
Denim or plaid, but the chinos non-negotiable. They have to be multi-pleated beige chinos, which is how Belushi liked to pronounce them because he was fancy back then. All right,
my chinos. Have you pressed my chinos? Now, I should put out Gary Hill mentioned that the Belushi template smells like bratwurst, which I love the idea of us going into the Belushi template smelling bratwurst.
Yeah, Gary, I think dropped off. We haven't had any comments. I don't think anyone's watching anymore, Matt.
Yeah, it's just us. Jen might be. She may have fallen asleep too.
Yeah, I think everyone's turned off, but that's fine. I don't care. We're keeping going. All right. It's the last act of
Yes. All right.
Separate Lives. We're all living separate lives with Jim Belushi. Here we go.
A woman on tape to Robert Porter, threatening him to back off in the investigation of his ex-wife's murder. It's his daughter, Lauren.
Yeah? Call come from an apartment on Clark Street?
Yeah.
Wasn't her. It's not the same person.
You're really starting to piss me off.
Why, you got something?
Did Jane Weiss's ballistics match Lauren Porter's gun?
Maybe.
I guess it did.
Where is it?
It's gone. It was stolen from my drawer last night. Look, it's not her gun, Joe.
Joe.
That gun was planted in her house.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're gonna fuck up a whole investigation? Your whole life? Your kid over a woman?
Ponytail reverse shot is fantastic.
It is. It's always my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm checking myself into a hospital.
Yes.
Yes,
you should have done it weeks ago.
You should have done 3 acts ago.
Meanwhile, her clearly insane father is hanging around his palatial estate
Still
painting
doing what he-
madness.
With his little
No matter
ponytail.
what, I'm admitting myself tomorrow at 9.
Paints of Madness by Tom Noonan, Fraser Crane.
That would be a great erotic thriller, Paints of Madness.
You know, maybe you should start painting.
Maybe you should
When
start
an artist
painting.
is crazy, they put him in an exhibition, they give him a lot of money.
What?
Yeah, you could try a mural. Work it out of your system in one big panorama.
Are you making fun of me?
Yes.
A little.
A little. A lot.
I love you.
I love you.
We're all a little wacko. Just some of us don't know how to hide it that well. That's why God invented
Wait,
shrinks.
is he the killer, do you think?
Is that
Mad
No, well,
Crane?
The fact that he's got seagull poop all over his shoulders means he was probably near the beach at some point, right? Like,
She's ruining everything. I'll send her away to boarding school.
Come on, Maggie, she's only 12.
The way she's
Oh,
sneaking around.
flashback to
Bradley
Noonan.
does
She's
it?
driving me crazy.
Give her a break, she'll grow out of it.
God damn it, you sound like her father.
David Bradley from Cyborg Cop? What was it? Who was
It
that?
is. I think that's definitely David Bradley. From Oh, the metaphor. She opens the mirrored thing and her father disappears.
Yeah.
The director of this movie was really working with some heady metaphor in that scene.
Yes. But in terms of like people walking and clopping their shoes around, he couldn't really mess with that too much. He would.
No. What is Elizabeth Moss wearing?
I know.
I want to ask you something.
What are you wearing?
Stuff I'm doing with Lauren. You feel
Look at Helena
okay
Bonham
about it?
Carter in the background there. It's an early 90s
I think
cameo.
she needs your help.
They're filming a room with a view on the other set. It's just like sharing the set while they're.
Weirdly, Elizabeth Moss is in both movies
hope you
at
do
the
it.
same time. This dialogue happened to fit
Every time
both.
somebody, a woman, likes you, you decide you don't like her.
Did you learn that in Scientology? Like, where did you get that?
Yeah.
I worry about you being alone.
I won't be alone. I'll always have you.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, that's really creepy. I'll always have you. She should have gone, no, father, I'm moving out. You're weird and creepy, and I'm going to a therapist.
I've already put in to get emancipated at 12.
Because years from now, we're going to have a sequel to this movie called Moss's
Stay
Childhood
at Tori's for a
Trauma.
while?
Just don't leave me there too long. I think Tori's kid brother is a psychopath.
The Belushi snort.
I know. What was it? Oh, jeez, I thought that was like some kind of like a gremlin
There's a
hand or
woman at
something.
the door, Dad. She says to say.
Oh,
it's
Kyle's
me.
here. Kyle's watching. Hello, Kyle. We're not watching Spookies, Kyle. We're watching 90s era Jim Belushi.
Go to bed.
And Belushi
Lauren.
wasn't
Oh, she
in
looks
90s
You know what I
era
told you.
Spookies. He was in 90s era Separate Lives.
That we see Kyle Poling leaves the chat. Like it's just like
Yeah,
it's like
Kyle Polling's like, oh, if you're not watching Spookies, fuck off then.
Right.
Even though it clearly says 2 middle-aged men watch 90s era Jim Belushi movies. He's like, yeah, no Spookies, I'm out. That's what he says.
You said
Ba,
if I had a
ba, ba, ba,
problem.
ba, here I am. You can tell I'm the evil one because I'm wearing black leather.
The studded leather jacket that I stole from a British guy.
Go ahead.
Kyle,
Who's
what
taking
if
a
it's
shower.
instead of it being
Are you ashamed or
Spookies,
not?
what if it's Jim Belushi's?
Well,
See how that works?
Jim Belushi went to Southern Illinois University, which are the Salukis. So it's the Salukis, we could say.
You really are studying this crap, huh?
Do you think Belushi could fart out a mud
You
man?
already know that, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I know.
Yes, I do.
But you quit.
But wait, we're missing this erotic scene.
Personal reasons. My wife, she...
The cinematographer was like, why don't we underlight Belushi? And it's like, no, that's because when you underlight him, all those wrinkles that he gets when he looks down here just like look like caverns of doom. Caverns of despair.
You know,
on Belushi's face.
Caverns of despair.
How? Can you see her? Can you hear her?
Her voice is always there. With all the voices driving me crazy.
What voices? Who are the other voices?
Nina.
Girl has a secret.
Did Hamilton think that this was going to be like her Oscar scene? You know what I mean? And the Oscar goes to Hamilton for Separate Lives. And here's Phil Collins to sing the theme tune. Can you imagine if this is... I mean, Oscar movies are basically this movie. They're basically this dramatically stupid.
Right. But they have Frances McDormand playing the part of Linda Hamilton's part here. And everybody's like, oh, it's Frances McDormand. She's great. You know.
Yeah, right? Did you see Frances McDormand in a leather mask? Nobody asked for it, but there it was.
I am not.
Kyle asks, is this woman's casual attire? Because if it is, I approve. It is, Kyle. This is casual 90s leather reckless chick who bangs a lot of guys costuming.
Like who can see you?
Yeah, this is her personality's casual attire.
Who the fuck cares?
It's perfectly all right to abuse women if they're crazy. The 90s weren't that far away from the 50s, ladies and gentlemen, with their outdated ideas about crazy women.
Right. The 90s erotic thriller was all about the Sean Connery slap a woman.
Yeah.
If she did.
You don't need a tape.
It's too late in the movie for me to think that any sex is about to happen. It's so late in the movie. There's no way. They did this just so they had a photo for the front of the video to make you think that what you were going to get was a Hamilton Belushi bonk fest.
How long has it been? How many months? How many years?
Refill my mug with water.
Awful years. When you didn't have a woman to touch.
All right, wrap it up. We've seen enough. Blah, 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 separate lives.
Like this.
Why does Linda Hamilton's cleavage start at her throat?
Stroke you. Make you feel so
Do you think Linda Hamilton, when she was masturbating Belushi, do you think she knows that years later, 30 years later, two bearded middle-aged guys would be laughing, just openly laughing at Belushi molesting Hamilton's butt like it was an old ham?
Oh, watch out for the fruit. There's no way to conceive of this, right? There's no way to understand that there was going to be this kind of technology.
No.
Yeah. Oh, there's our first boob of the film.
First nipple
and we
of
saw
the
it for a
film.
second.
And we are at 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, and we saw it for like 2 seconds before it was enveloped in Belushi's mouth. What?
Oh, yes. Now, childhood trauma number 3, Matt. Let's have a play-by-play of the childhood trauma as his daughter witnesses Belushi trying to have sex with his shrink wearing leather. His daughter comes in and goes, "Can I try on your leather dress? I want to feel pretty like you." Belushi's like, "I'm just going to let it happen."
Right, and then she puts on the leather dress, and she's like, "Yeah, tell your friends at school to stuff it."
Yeah. You can go to school dressed like a hooker. Don't worry.
Belushi's stuffing his face with spaghetti and thinking of the naked British man he ravaged the night before. He wrestled earlier.
And you thought that it was so edgy when Cronenberg made that movie with the guy from Lord of the Rings, and he wrestled in a Russian bathroom naked.
Right.
Belushi did it first. Big men in big outfits on Fox. All the cowboy hats you've ever wanted to see this fall on Fox as big men throw even bigger balls across sexy women in tight clothing to the strains of other men in really expensive suits talking about the men in enormous clothing hitting each other for 30 seconds on Fox.
And now we know we're back in the 90s based on the shirt.
Yeah, now we're back in Flouncy Town with... Kyle said, that little girl is like, "Jim, put the hog away. We eat at that table."
What the fuck have you been?
Yeah, she'll never be able to eat spaghetti at that table again.
Yeah.
Oh, is that our Englishman?
It is. And the guy who doesn't know how to turn down the sound of the surroundings is allowing them to molest on a leather couch. So this entire scene is going to have creaking in the background.
I think maybe you just better forget about him and think about me.
Is she making out with him? What is she doing?
Oh, wait. She's turning back into the good one. This is like an extreme version of Olivia Newton-John at the end of Grease syndrome.
Right.
Like an extreme version of it. Like as if you're the one that I want. Like if at the end of Grease, when Sandy was all in like her leather outfit and everything, if she was like flicking back and forth between the two Sandys, being like, "You're the one that I want," and then being like, "Where am I? What's going on? Why am I in leather clothing?" Then going back to the dance sequence all the time, Olivia Newton-John switching from one Sandy to another.
And then John Travolta is just completely dumbfounded by the whole thing.
He just goes back to singing, "You're the one that I want." And she's like, "Whoa, where am I? What's going on? Why am I wearing this?" Like this man knows what to do with a woman. Come on now.
I know. No.
I resent the fact that this is what they think British men make love like. Matt, British men make love in the dark. Oh, did I pause it? I didn't mean to. Oh, yeah. Hang on. British men make love in the dark wearing... Oh, and I'm frozen.
You're frozen.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that you the frozen? It's okay. It's not me. Or, well, I guess it couldn't because I'm moving still.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop cam for a second and then start the cam again.
It's still, yeah.
Still frozen. All right.
You have to do a refresh?
No, I don't know that I can because then the feed will stop.
Oh, does it stop everything, right? Oh.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, let's keep playing the movie.
Yeah. What a weird, yeah.
I'm going to turn my camera off for a minute. But as you know, Matt, English men make love in the dark while wearing a velveteen smoking jacket, having just eaten a pot roast.
Right.
And they last about a minute and a half, and then they light up an already stuffed pipe, and then they walk into their libraries and open, a book of Kierkegaard or something. That's how an Englishman makes love, Matt. not
Nicholas
rough.
Nickleby.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all everybody's Alistair Cook, is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Who's this guy? He's one of the flouncy henches. I used to play bass for the flouncy henches.
The flouncy henches. The hit song, right? Throw Belushi into a cigarette machine.
Right? I'm still frozen. Oh, fuck.
So if you refresh, because it's you're the one with the feed, it will
it'll stop everything.
just ruin the whole thing, right? Okay. Yeah. What is
God, they're still after us.
I used to drive this neighborhood 6 nights a week. Let's see what I still remember.
Belushi, relying purely on memory, drives like an erratic madman. Let's see what I can remember. Turns out I can't remember how to drive.
Switches are getting faster and faster. How long do I get to be me this time?
Careful.
Oh, look at this. Looks like it's loading something. This could be good.
What the fuck are you
No, it's still frozen.
Tommy.
Right?
Well, it's just a black screen now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
This movie is totally back, like, ladening everything. Like, we've had sex scenes and car chases in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, you've really got to. This is probably the kind of movie you're going to get the eye protection on, because the loose ends are starting to fly together everywhere, and it's all coming at you. Can't you lose these bastards? Jim Belushi, Tokyo Drift.
Oh, Belushi has to be in, like, the last Fast and movie.
Yes, he does.
It's like the ultimate last 90s action reference that they can possibly squeeze out.
You're never going to find out what happened to Lauren's mother. Now slow down.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's got to somehow make that happen.
Now, if you shaved Belushi's head, he could look a bit Vin Diesel. Do you know what I mean?
He would be a great.
He'd be like a great, like, Vin Diesel dad.
Stay here.
Maybe two.
I love the idea of him as a Vin Diesel. Yeah.
Yeah. He gave birth somehow to John Cena and Vin Diesel.
Right. Yes.
Well, not he.
This is
He
all
didn't
about
give
Vin.
birth. Wait.
Right.
I just said he gave birth.
Right.
Well,
That was even better.
Because in the Vin Diesel bloodline, men have the babies.
Right, because there is no mother. They never mention a mother in that, but they. Right, it's always the dad. It's always about the dad.
It's Belushi.
So yeah,
Belushi is a unibirther. he can inseminate himself. He's a unibirther.
his children that are born wearing chinos and
ponytails,
plaid shirts.
Ponytail has undone the ponytail.
Oh yeah, he's really mad now.
Tell me where she is.
She jumped out of the car. I don't know where
She jumped out and left you holding a fucking bag and you're still protecting her.
That's a good point.
It is a good point. In fact, everyone has had good points in this film except Belushi.
Except Belushi.
I think I should I think I should put myself in or whatever. He's like, no. I think I should report everything I've done. No.
So you finally got laid.
Kind of. My daughter stopped it from happening. Almost, right? Yeah.
That's how all men put their keys away.
Right.
Dad, I watched the news. I just wanted to see how you were. I hope you're okay. You can call me if you want. Dad, if you think Lauren's innocent, you've always had pretty good instincts.
How did she know what I was thinking? She cuts to the core of me.
Tori says hi. We've got our kid brother tied up in the closet.
Yeah.
Bye, Dad.
Oh, and Dad, leave the Wellington boots alone.
And Dad, I just smoked my first joint. And Dad, I just saw my first adult penis.
Oh, mustache guy is really
And
struggling
Dad
in the front seat of that car.
just ate a shit ton of gluten. And Dad, I'm mainlining heroin. Wait, what was the gluten thing again?
He's trying to escape Mustache Man? Like, what is he afraid of Mustache?
The heroin we can get over and forgive.
Right.
But the gluten, come on now. Don't go near the gluten, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, of course he's going to steal a fucking Roadrunner. Look at him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's got to steal the Starsky and Hutch car.
He's going to hotwire it.
Because he's a man of the 70s and the 90s. Driving the Starsky and Hutch. Meanwhile, that guy hasn't even got out of the car yet. And who's this Prince of Pop? What's this?
I think that was the older Pete of Pete and Pete fame.
Yeah. He's cheating on his girlfriend.
Now, if you see a bad guy come in the house, what do you do? Very good. Very good.
Uh-oh.
Are we going to have Traces of Red style Flitch? Flitch?
Yeah.
What do I mean? Twist.
Twist.
I'm sorry. I've gone completely doolally. I've overdosed on Belushi.
Right. There's a certain Belushi saturation point. Yeah. I wonder if in the 90s people did these in parts. I'm trying to remember myself because I was younger back then. I could handle more Belushi as a youngin. I could do 3 hours of Belushi.
I could handle I could handle more Belushi as a younger man. Now it's harder to handle this much Belushi in a sitting. And when you mix it with Linda Hamilton, dressed like a 90s nightmare.
Yeah.
No. Hold on, let's just stay right there for a minute.
Now, you know for a fact that she's had sex with the flouncy Englishman. So I don't know that I would be that interested in trying to save her.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, wait, definitely, I don't care if you have split personality, you got railed by the weird Englishman in the pirate shirt.
He feels like with his 100 credit hours of undergraduate psychology that he'll be able to save her so that she'll never make that flouncy Englishman mistake again.
Right. This whole movie is very anti-English. I feel attacked, Matt. I feel personally attacked.
I gotta understand, especially Belushi. Like, he was like yelling all kinds of anti-English slurs at the flouncy Englishman. Yeah, right.
And you don't see me putting a petition up on Facebook. You don't see me trying to cancel Belushi for his diminutive British slang. You don't see me trying to fucking haul Belushi across the coals. I just get on with my day. My day filled with white privilege. Sorry, carry on. What are you saying, man?
I would love it if, like, if you came out against him for that,
right.
And then his statement after, I just want everybody to know that I absolutely love the English people. I was playing a part. I really meant no harm. I've been to London. I really love Piccadilly Circus. It was great. I just, I enjoy a steak and kidney pie from time to time. So
from time to time. Every other day is when he likes a steak and kidney pie. But that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? If you started a Hansel cancel Jim Hansel hashtag. Oh God, I can't even speak now. Hashtag cancel Jim Belushi, and it just caught on. Like everyone was canceling Belushi left and right. For any fucking comment they found Belushi's made, but my one goes viral. And my complaint is that he says "limey fuck" in the 1996 movie Separate Lives. Suddenly, Separate Lives shoots the top of Netflix's most watched.
Yes. Yeah.
People in The Guardian start writing articles. Have we undervalued 1996's Separate Lives with its allegorical tale of split personalities and childhood trauma?
Suddenly there's an article of Rolling Stone written by a millennial, The Oral History of Separate Lives, The
AV Club finally interviews Belushi. There's suddenly a Belushi subreddit that's just aflame with Belushi allegations. And finally, they cancel the entirety of England cancels Jim Belushi. Can you imagine?
They're all yes. There's like all sorts of different white nationalities that he was making fun of. Beyond that, he jokes about Canadians, calling them America Junior. Jokes about it's like just a whole slew of things.
Yeah. Now, do we think that do we think that America comes out in support of Belushi, or do you think America condemns Belushi's ally hatred?
Right. I think it depends on how contrite Belushi becomes after the fact, right? Like that's If he goes full on like completely like defiant, and suddenly he's like doing like Fox Nation shows and stuff like that, right? Like, I'm so anti-woke now. The woke
I should
mob
be
got
able
to
to say "limey fuck" wherever and whenever I want. It's my right as an American. Don't you infringe my right to carry guns and point them at English people and call them limey fucks. It's my right as an Albanian, an American Albanian. Fuck. Don't pay attention to the fact that I'm an immigrant. Please. Suddenly he has to start being like, no, wait, everyone at SNL is a liberal. Like, don't worry, like, we're all liberals. Right. And they're like, wait, that guy with the did Weekend Update who has a really whiny voice, he's not a liberal. Yeah, well, there's him. Everyone else is a liberal, though.
Well, then there was the woman, the Victoria Jackson woman, suddenly, who's also, okay, well, all right, her too. Okay, but everybody else.
And then they had Trump and Sarah Palin guest host. All right, they have had Trump and Sarah Palin guest host. But apart from whiny, nasal-voiced mullet Weekend Update guy, his name eludes me for the moment.
Oh, Dennis Miller.
Dennis Miller? Yeah.
Dennis. Yeah, I was going to say David Miller, but that's somebody else.
And the fact that they had Trump, apart from all of those things, SNL's liberal. Therefore, Belushi can't be in trouble because I did it ironically, and I'm an immigrant, and I'm all for immigration, except from Mexico. No, wait, I'm okay for it. And everyone, he keeps canceling himself as he's trying to dig himself out of another canceling. He cancels himself again all over the place.
Suddenly, like every appearance after that, he's wearing like English, like soccer jersey and scarf, and his face is painted with the flag and everything, just to be like show how English he is, how much he's
photographed,
and we're not buying it.
Prince Charles's hand,
right? Exactly.
Yeah, picture of Belushi with Prince Charles's hand shown to be an AI fake today. Not even an AI fake, just a badly photoshopped job done by Belushi's social media manager.
I would love to meet Belushi's social media manager.
Oh, reveal.
Yep.
Hey, honey.
Oh, it's her dad.
Yeah, with his ponytail.
See?
Yeah.
It's Tom Noonan and Fraser Crane.
Yeah. Tom Noonan and Fraser Crane.
What? Why, Niles? I couldn't possibly be seen inside a Walmart.
Isn't the new Frasier taking place in Chicago? That's like perfect to have Belushi in that.
Yeah.
As Niles.
And Jim Belushi as everyone's favorite brother. Oh no, because they reveal he has a third brother. That's the twist of the new Frasier Crane. Because the whole thing about the first episode of the original Frasier Crane, it was like, who knew he had a brother?
Yeah.
Right? So now it's like, who knew he had a third brother who was weirdly Albanian? It's Jim Belushi. Belushi comes out. And he's like, just like you had a father who was a bit slovenly and you didn't understand why he had to be so slovenly, your third brother is also a little bit slovenly. Right. It's just Belushi sat around the couch and Frasier walking about being like, are you really going to sit there, James?
Well, also because he plays a cop and everything, it'd be great that he'd be like the one who followed in their father's footsteps and became a Seattle cop.
Come on now, we've just written Frasier Series 12 or whatever it is.
Right.
Frasier's like, this is the end of the first episode. I can't take having Belushi as a brother.
And Belushi's stuffing a steak and kidney pie
Yeah.
down his gullet on the couch. It's like getting all over him and everything.
Belushi's return to television was marred by his Brit 2ing that happened at Brit 2.
That would be like a whole thing too. Like people mistook the steak and kidney as him mocking the English again. You know, it's like right.
Belushi caught by paparazzi shoving another steak and kidney pie into his mouth. Has this parody gone on long enough? We at The Guardian asked the hard-hitting questions.
No, please donate money to us. Otherwise, the truth dies in darkness. Please donate money.
Please give us, The Guardian, an extraordinarily wealthy newspaper, one of your hard-earned dollars. Please.
No.
Otherwise, you can only look at one article a month. And won't that be a shame? The fucking Guardian.
Yeah.
I love that this is the outfit the father was to wear for his big reveal.
No, not for
He was like,
myself.
I'm going to go over there with a gun and threaten everyone. I think I want to wear the shiny grey pattern shirt with the weird stripy waistcoat and a black thin sweater. Perfect outfit for revealing that I am truly the villain.
Yeah, because you got to think, if you're doing the villain reveal, you're picking out an outfit, right? You're laying things out on the bed.
You've
and you're
tried on several things by this point. They're like, people don't know that I'm the villain, but here I am the villain, and I'm laying out my villain reveal outfit, and I chose this combination of mad patterns.
Oh, geez. Oh, okay. So I think that's why he picked that outfit, because it allowed for full range of movement for a good pistol whip.
No! Threw him out of a window.
He just defenestrated him.
Yeah.
And there goes the tree. Well, the tree for effect, because he would have hit the tree when he was being defenestrated. That makes sense. That's the tree that Goldwyn is hiding behind in Traces of Red.
Belushi's like, I'm sorry, but I don't think your father's going to glass. See what I did there? It's like, I don't think he's going to last, but because I pushed him through a window, it's glass.
Glass.
I don't think your father's going to last much longer. And she's like,
and then the joke causes like another personality to come out of her. It's like,
right.
Suddenly she's wearing leather again.
Suddenly she's like the manic pixie dream girl. And suddenly she's got like hairs in ponytails, and she wears like 1950s skirts, and she sings little songs with a ukulele, and she's played by Zoe, one of the Deschanels.
Right, exactly.
I'm the third personality, manic pixie dream girl. I play ukuleles and will watch horror movies, and will occasionally do that next thing, but not all the time, but just occasionally. Manic pixie dream girl. She cuts her fringe all jaggedy. She starts listening to a lot of Smith's music. Belushi's suddenly like, geez, you're really different to the woman I married.
The scene of her singing along to "We Hate It When Our Friends Become Successful," it was used in the commercial.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's like, she's bopping around to it. And if they're northern, it's worse.
The sequel,
she's so precocious.
The sequel to oh, isn't she charmingly precocious? Yeah, it's Elizabeth Moss plays Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Oh, isn't she precocious? It's a 4-year-old girl who wants to drink red wine and be treated like an adult, when really she should be in fucking bed and be thankful that she's not being beaten with sticks. Childhood trauma.
Is that the knowing look of "I was the killer"?
I was the killer. Linda Hamilton is living separate lives. And her dad was Frasier. All right. Hide. There we go. There's 4 more minutes of credits, but I don't think we need to hear those anymore. Anyway,
Oh, John Moyo did the stunt coordinating for that scene
He
that we
did.
just saw there, throwing the guy through the window.
Those bedroom eyes playing next. No, it's not. Turn off those bedroom eyes. I want no part of it. All right, I've removed it. There we go. Oh, look, there we are.
There we are. Yep.
I don't think my camera's going to come back.
Yeah, it's one of those things, I guess, like once it goes.
Yeah, it's still me freeze framed. Can you see it?
I can't. No, it's a black screen right now.
Okay. Well, there we go. Was it episode 2 of Two Middle-Aged Men Watch 90s era Jim Belushi films. And Matt, how do you feel we did?
I think it was. I mean, YouTube apparently were not fans. They cut us off right away. But at the same time, we were on Twitch and Facebook this time. So
yeah.
So I think it's something. I guess. Well, I'm wondering too, like, because for everybody in the UK who probably didn't want to stay up late to watch us, they're going to see the video anyway, the recording of it anyway. Yeah. So, but yeah, we can update that. But I think in terms of the Belushi, I have to say, like, this movie wasn't as much fun as Traces of Red. Yeah. I think we needed a Goldwyn in there, I guess is what we needed.
Well, we had Ponytail Man, but he didn't really, he was the Goldwyn light person. Right. He was the Goldwyn substitute, but I wasn't a fan of him.
No.
I wanted less Ponytail Man, whereas I kind of wanted more Goldwyn because he was just so nicely sleazy. But yes, not as much fun as Traces of Red, but in its own way, just as exciting and interesting to watch with you and make some comments, but also stop and discuss it. I think that this was a good model. I enjoyed the way we did it this time. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a lot of fun to sort of take those breaks every half hour or so and kind of recap what we were seeing, but then, sort of layer the jokes. And I think towards the end, we just got to the point where it's just like, okay, this movie's out of control. So let's just talk about Belushi being canceled for his anti-English hate that he was spewing earlier in the film.
I still like the idea of Belushi being Fraser Crane's third brother. Right. So they didn't mention, because I like the idea is like the whole big joke at the first episode of Frasier was, you'd lived in Massachusetts for 20 years and never mentioned that you had a brother, right?
Right.
Because how many seasons of Cheers were there? Like 26 or something? Like, it was
like 12. Yeah, it was like, because I think both shows had 12 seasons, right. Something like that. Yeah.
So 12 years living in Boston, right? So Doug never mentions a brother. Then has Fraser Crane. He has 12 more seasons of that. So then he's like, we didn't mention Niles for 12 years, but now we've got Niles. Then 24 years in, and it's like Niles and Fraser never mentioned James Belushi Fraser. That would have to be his name. The weed smoking, pork pie eating, schlubby Chicago brother. Right. Who's a cop who lived like Martin. Also, Martin the whole time on Frasier never said, "How's your brother James the cop?" Didn't care about him at all until we get to Frasier season 13. He's back with his scrambled eggs and his little nitpicky comments and his class structure bon mots. It's like, I couldn't possibly listen to FM radio, Niles. What kind of person do you think I am? The hoi polloi? Oh, more comedy from Frasier this week. As Frasier takes on the important topics of the day. Like the correct way to tie a cravat.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is the very beginning of the movie, the woman who cut herself, who had slept with more men or enough men to fill Dodger Stadium, she kind of looked like Roz a little bit. So yeah, so there's that too. I mean, if we bring Roz back, we could find out that she had this whole other side to her that they never mentioned in the show.
Do you think Roz is going to come back for the new series, Perry Gilpin or whatever her name is?
Yeah, Perry. I don't know. That's a good question.
What about the Northern Nanny? Is she going to come back? Well, Niles isn't in the new season, is he?
Right. No, right. He's completely not in it, I think.
Kelsey
Right.
Grammer
Yeah. So
was like, I can't be stood up by Hyde Pierce any longer. I've got to go back to being my own man. Yeah. So, who's who amongst us isn't excited for the new series of Frasier? For fuck's sake!
Yeah, I mean, what was it that like Frasier like? Yeah, I guess there wasn't other stuff out there for him. I guess I don't know, like because it used to be right. Like it used to be if you did a sitcom, you'd move on to another sitcom, right? Like you have.
Well, he did that Boss show for Showtime or whatever it was.
Right. So it's I mean, because like I know where Danson did Cheers, then he did Becker, and then he was The Good Place and CSI. It's like, but Frasier's like, no, I got to go back and do more Frasier, and everybody's like, wait, we need streaming content. Sure, come do more Frasier.
Yeah.
I could,
Kelsey Grammer was like, I was in Expendables 3 for 5 minutes, and everyone went, Kelsey, I'm sorry, Sylvester Stallone, why is Frasier Crane in Expendables 3? Why? No, Sly, I think I really need to sit down and press you on this point. Harrison Ford, I'll understand. I don't like Ronda Rousey. It's unforgivable, but all right. Put her in it.
No,
Mel
the reason
Gibson,
why Kelsey Grammer was there.
Yeah, Mel Gibson, well-known racist and misogynist. All right, he was in Lethal Weapon. Put him in it. But I'm sorry, Sly. We've got to press you on this point. Frasier Crane in Expendables 3. Sorry, carry on, Matt.
Well, no, I think what it was that he was like, "There's no way anyone would believe that I would put Kellen Lutz in our crew or our Expendables crew unless somebody like a Frasier Crane suggested Kellen Lutz."
Yeah, or Ellen Klutz, as I like to call him.
Ellen Klutz.
Ellen Klutz. Ellen, come here. Oh, he's tripped over himself again. What a klutz.
Yeah, the mere concept of Ellen Klutz, it's difficult for me to understand, but I guess if you put Frasier with him, it's a little bit more palatable, I guess. Maybe that was Stallone's thinking. Which,
Frasier
again,
in a floppy hat introduces you to this weird hang glider guy. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
What's his special skill? Oh, he's we could do hang gliding. Well, my niece did hang gliding. What are you talking about?
Right.
Why, he can do it with a computer. What?
Right. He could jump motorcycles. He could be Steve McQueen in what no. I'm drawing a blank on the movie, the Prisoner movie. The Great Escape. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. Yes, there we go. Yeah, exactly. So that's what they were thinking. That's his superpower. He can jump a motorcycle.
I remember the Expendables 3 trailer, and it's all like, Jet Li, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
right?
Jason Statham, Sylvester Stallone, Harrison Ford, and Frasier Crane. Wait, what?
Right,
they don't even call him Kelsey Grammer. It's just and TV's Frasier Crane.
Right.
Why is he in the movie? Right. Oh, and we've got Wesley Snipes coming back, Dolph Lundgren. And wait, no, can we go back to the Frasier Crane thing? Why is he in the movie? all the cards at the test screening. They're just endless comments of like Frasier ?
David Hyde Pierce wasn't available ? Right.
At least his father had some shrapnel in his hip. At least that's somewhat manly. We send Martin Crane into battle with fucking Jason Statham.
Right. Yeah. There are so many ways that third movie. I haven't seen the fourth one yet. I'm maybe going to go this weekend, and I've been hearing bad things about that one.
But I mean, of course, it's only bad things.
Right, exactly. If it turns out, if I watch it turns out there's just a lot of like anti-English slurs, then I'll
Well, they won't be because Statham's now the leader because Sly is only the cameo anymore. I want to know why they haven't brought Mickey Rourke's character back from the first one, the dribbly-lipped tattoo artist who does fucking method acting, dribbly lip spitting while telling a story about killing a woman in Vietnam. Bring that character back. Who didn't love that character?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, and he's like doing it like while he's giving Stallone a tattoo.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're going to finish this tattoo on the
back. And then Mickey Rourke's just like, and you're like, wow, Mickey Rourke, what an actor.
I think it's what made the first one so good, though, was it was like, you're getting that.
Yeah.
And
then
Eric Roberts. Right. Yeah.
Gary Daniels. Come on now.
Yeah.
The first one was so good. The second one wasn't bad because they killed Hemsworth in the first 10 seconds.
And they killed him in the most spectacular. If you're going to kill a Hemsworth in a movie, that is the best way to do it. The way Van Damme roundhouse kicking a knife that Scott Adkins is holding into a Hemsworth.
I really wanted at the end of the very last Thor film to just bring Villain back. And Jean-Claude Van Damme just comes and goes, hello, I am Villain. I killed your brother many years ago in Expendables 2. And then Scott Adkins appears next to him and goes, what? Bloody hell, what am I doing here? What the fuck am I doing here? And then he's like, he goes, shut up, I am Villain. He goes, wait, your name is Villain? Yes, my name is Villain. So you're the villain then, and you're called Villain? Yes, it's very clever. Sly Stallone, he write this. It's very funny. I am here to take another Hemsworth, because every 15 years, Jean-Claude Van Damme has to kill and eat a Hemsworth. Otherwise, he loses even some relevance.
Right. And I mean, from a Marvel Disney standpoint,
Yeah,
that would have been the best way to kind of wrap things up for Hemsworth.
Yes.
And, you know, they did the funeral for Iron Man. They had, you know, Captain America grow old.
Yeah.
And then you could have Thor get a knife to the chest.
Knife to the chest.
There by, yeah.
by Jean-Claude Van Damme. By
Villain.
Yeah. And Scott Adkins just being like, well, I guess I'm in the Marvel Universe now then.
Right. I'm going to hold this knife here.
Yeah, I'm going to hold this knife for him. Yeah, I think that's the only way. As legend has it, the only way to kill a Hemsworth is a knife to the chest propelled there by the foot of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, from a Stallone standpoint, I mean, if he's coming up with creative ideas, I mean, none of the rest of that scene makes any sense, right? Because Villain's got all of the other ones, you know, at gunpoint. He could just kill them all, and then not have to worry about them again, and just, you know, enrich his uranium or plutonium or whatever it is and go sell it to the highest bidder. But he's like, no, I'm just going to kill this Hemsworth in a spectacular fashion, of course. But I'm going to kill him, and I'll let the rest of you live so you can come back and defeat me at the end of the film.
Right? Yeah. No, I mean, it's Bond villainry one-on-one, you know, and I love that.
Right, exactly.
I mean, you know, and there again is my thing is like, the ending fight between Sly Stallone and Jean-Claude Van Damme should have been fucking spectacular, and it was a little weak sauce.
Right.
You know, we'd waited this long to see Rocky IV, not even Rocky IV, actually, just Rocky Balboa. So like the over the hill. We'd waited this long to see Rocky Balboa go head to head with Time Cop, because that's the crossover we had been hoping to see. And it was over in, you know, a few roundhouse kicks.
Right.
And I just thought it was a little disappointing. I just thought they should have a Princess Bride style swashbuckle, you know, what's the word? Not joust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Duel.
Duel. Yes,
Duel. Yeah. So they should have like a Princess Bride style duel with Jean-Claude Van Damme skipping around in pixie tights, and either that or wait, maybe it's the crossover between the Jean-Claude Van Damme dancing person in Breakin' versus the Stallone from the musical that he did with Dolly Parton. What was it called? Rawhide.
Yes.
Rawhide? No.
I think so. No. No. What was that? I know what you're talking about. I was going to say, because he also directed Staying Alive, the whatchamacallit sequel. And I've got my phone open because I'm on Tubi right now. I forgot that I was looking up the name of the Debbie Harry erotic thriller, which is Intimate Strangers. I had that up at some point.
Rhinestone, not Rawhide.
Rhinestone, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's really his character Breakin' and Stallone's character from what did I just say it was called?
Rhinestone.
Rhinestone, that's it. Raw Rinds. Hidestone. Dolly Parton and Sylvester Stallone. I mean, is there anyone that Stallone has not crossed over with? He crossed over with Sharon Stone, crossed over with the Marvel Universe and James Gunn. He crossed over with Jean-Claude Van Damme. The only one he hasn't is Seagal. Is the only one he hasn't crossed over with.
Well, word on the street is he didn't do the Expendables because he had issues with the producers from like other stuff that they worked on before.
Yeah.
So that's why Seagal wouldn't work with them. So, which I got to think that Seagal must have just a whole cadre of people that he can't be anywhere near.
Right. Well, that's why he makes all his movies in Belgrade and sells them mainly to the lucrative Russian audience at this point.
Right. Exactly. Because nobody else will work with him. Everybody else is like, I've done, I know there's a film he did with Michael Jai White where they weren't even in a scene together because he doesn't like Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
So, it's like,
I don't know. I mean, it's odd. You apparently get to a level of delusion and self-grandeur that where all evidence to the contrary just propels, you know what I mean? Like where despite all the evidence, you still believe that you are massively relevant, massively famous, and in shape. There's sort of this, and you're none of those things. Yet he still walks around the place with like a harem of women and a cadre of bodyguards, and he walks around. Yeah, I'm just going to be checking into this hotel, and I'm going to be eating some of this delicious baklava, and you know what I mean. And I'll be taking several baths, and everyone's just like, "Oh, I guess so." It's famous Seagal from his famous movie days, but like the guy he's made 300 films or something, and 289 of them are tosh.
Right. Yes.
I mean, look, the same goes for Gary Daniels. I haven't watched the Gary Daniels movie in probably 10, like a new Gary Daniels movie in like 10 years or whatever. Because who's watching? Yeah, I think Forced to Fight was the last one, and I only watched that one because Peter Weller was in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't watch any of their new stuff anymore. You do more, don't you, Matt? You still watch some of them.
I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like almost like a crusade where I've got to review them. But a lot of times I don't rent them unless I get a little. Like there's one he did called The Gardener with the guy who looks like Charles Bronson, Bronzy.
So I'll did a movie with him.
No, Daniels did. Daniels did.
Oh my god!
He did, yes.
Oh my god! Daniels scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Right. I haven't seen it yet. It's been because it hasn't been available on any streaming site. Like it's always just to rent, and it's like I can't. $5 to watch Bronzy and Daniels. Like there's no way this is going to be worth $5.
I remember I tried to watch that one Bronzy movie that everyone was like, "Oh, it's just like." Charles Bronson back with Death Wish and blah, 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 blah. I was like 15 minutes of it. I'm like, this is awful. This is worse. And I've sat through like low budget Drek, but it was one of the worst things ever. And I was like, after about 10 seconds, you go, oh, he doesn't look like Charles Bronson. He just looks like an old twat with a thin mustache. Because after a while, you see all the reasons why he's not Charles Bronson. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
But
it's almost like people forget what Charles. It's like our dog we used to have, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but he looked kind of like a wolf. But he was a hot, part husky, part German Shepherd.
You'd be like, he looks kind of like Charles Bronson. So
right,
anyway, sorry, carry on.
No, well, because he looked kind of like a wolf, so people would be like, "Is your dog part wolf, or is your dog a wolf?" And it's like, no, he's a dog, and it's like he looked maybe like a dog playing a wolf for Halloween. But when you see an actual wolf, it's like have you ever looked, like, Google a wolf and see what an actual wolf looks like? It's like people forget what a wolf looks like, and they see a dog that it's like half husky, half German Shepherd, and think that's a wolf, and it's like no, like wolves are big and they're scary. It's like it, but it's kind of the same thing with it's like people forgot what Charles Bronson looks like.
Hashtag cancel Perea for screaming about wolves. Hashtag don't you know what a wolf looks like?
It's like exactly.
Hashtag wolf twos. Hashtag we're canceling the after movie diner for giving solace to wolf hating man.
He's like, yeah, you people don't know what a wolf looks like. You're sapping my strength. I'm trying to walk my dog here.
Hey, you're sapping my strength. I'm trying to walk my dog here. Hey, get out
I
of
do
my
love the
way.
idea of just being like, I'm going to walk a wolf around the neighborhood, around the block here in Philadelphia. Like, this. Yeah, he should be perfectly fine around the kids and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just walking this wolf through a playground. We don't mind the wolf being here, sir, but you've got to leave.
Right, you, sir. Yes,
while you're at it, please put some pants back on.
Right. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Well, that was the other thing. You're right.
Back on the wolf? No, pants back on yourself. The wolf doesn't need to wear pants.
Right. That was the whole. You're probably right that me being half naked walking through the park was probably an issue. And you're right. Nobody really found it that funny. And I was like, well, my dog's not wearing pants. That's not right. Jen mentioned that. She was like, don't you want to put some pants on before you go out? I'm like, come on. It's the 90s. It's not the 90s anymore. Are you sure? I think.
Come off it. It's the 90s. It should be your answer now. Whenever our wives, our respective wives, ask us to do something or have a go at us for something or come down on some, just be like, "Oh, come off it! It's the
90s." Yes, she will say to me like, "Don't wear like if I obviously being from New England, I'm a Patriots fan." She's like, "Don't wear Patriot stuff out on the street here in Philadelphia because people won't like it." But I should be like, it's the 90s. Nobody will care if I'm wearing a Patriot shirt, And then somebody throws a battery at me while I'm out or something like that. I'm like, "You're right. You were right, honey. It's not the 90s anymore."
Someone throws a battery. Oh, that's amazing. The hoodlums of Philadelphia roaming the streets with a giant D battery, looking for Patriots fans to
look at somebody wearing a Patriot shirt. Somebody just dumb enough to wear that Patriot shirt. I got the D battery I pulled out of my boom box. Right. Open up your boom box. I need a D battery as fast as I can, and I'm going to hit this guy.
I'm going to throw a battery at that guy. Struck him in his Patriots jersey.
That's right. Honey, you were right. I've got this big welt on my head from a battery. It's like a battery-sized welt on my head.
And then the episode of According to Matt ends with you being like, "Honey, you were right." And then he turns to his friend holding the battery and going, "But I got a sweet free battery." And then it just ends. It all worked out in the end. Belushi got a free battery. His wife was proved right.
Right. That's the whole episode, right? Is he's trying to find another D battery for his flashlight, right? And then he goes out and the wife's like, "Don't wear the Patriot shirt. You're going to get hit with a battery." "No, I'll be fine." Then he gets hit with the battery and he's like, "Hey, wait a second." And then he's like roaming around in the basement with the schlubby guy. "Look at this. I got the battery now."
And he puts on the boombox and it's like him and Dan Aykroyd's single from like the 90s. And they put their single harmonica out. And it's and he just puts it on. And then Dan Aykroyd comes out of the back and the studio audience like erupts with applause. And they sing a really bad version, like a really, really offensively bad version of Soul Man. And the entire audience of older ladies just prolapse. And then Belushi just looks at the camera and goes, "That's all for." According to Jim, according to Jim, he needed that battery, and I was so glad that hoodlum threw one at him. was.
It hit him in the head.
And it all
then he was
worked.
able to find his
It all worked out in the end.
Yes.
Except
and his schlubby friend was happy.
His wife. His wife has split personality disorder. And only it's flipped. When she's out in the day, she's like this headstrong, fierce businesswoman who's just running a corporation and killing it at work. And then, like, she gets on the subway and passes out and then wakes up and is like, I guess I'm Jim Belushi's wife.
She's
And
wearing
she
like
goes home.
pendant skirts and she's got her hair down and she's like making dinner and complaining about all the schlubby stuff he's doing.
She comes home to find like television's on fire or something.
He's like going in the kitchen with a cup of water to put it out.
Him and his slubby friend are just in tiny whities and leather belts with flamethrowers on them. And then they both look at her. They both look at her and like shrug, and then she looks at the camera and is like, "I guess that's men."
Right.
And then
hands on the hips and just like, God, men.
Oh, men, always setting fire to the television, dressed in nothing but tiny whities while we're out earning a paycheck. Man.
Yeah, I've always wondered, it's like in the middle of the U.S., is there just like this whole like cadre of schlubby men that like that would not like be able to get through a day without their wife like just completely taking care of them and moving them from place to place and making sure they don't blow up the house and everything. And
but can you?
But it's funny.
But the ultimate insult is this, right? So you are a schlubby American man, and not just from the Midwest, because we love our Midwest brothers and sisters,
exactly
from the whole country. Because I'm a schlub man and I live right in Connecticut. So schlubby man from anywhere in the country. With a far more attractive wife, because that's just how it is. Like normal people, like people I see in the pub, Matt. Like last night, there was an attractive woman with a schlubby as fuck husband. And you looked at the two and you were like, I just don't understand the world. Anyway, those two go home, right? They've been out at the pub, they've been drinking, whatever. They go home. And the ultimate insult, as if this poor schlubby wanker isn't fucking looked after and pampered and put up with enough. He then demands in bed, instead of having sex with his wife, to watch According to Jim reruns, a podcast in which a layabout dad with a much more attractive and much more accomplished wife lies around berating women. And you must think to yourself, if you're that attractive woman who's married to that schlub who's now forced to watch According to Jim, you must think to yourself, like, I have just hit the jackpot. This is my dream. When I was a little girl, I always wanted a really fugly husband who brought me home and forced me to watch chubby Belushi and his even chubbier, dumber looking friend break things and set fire to things and fall over children, causing absolute pandemonium, while me, the hard-working, money-earning, grocery shopping, hard-cooking, always perfectly attractive wife has to go about her day being maligned by men going, well, women, they're always trying to, do their nails or something.
Right. Oh, so emotional.
Yeah, they're always breaking their nails while ironing. Am I right, men? Also, have you noticed, right, that since we all became, I think, much better people and more enlightened men, and more how ironing has just gone out of the window. Once we were like, well, we can't ask women to constantly do the ironing because that would just be, chauvinistic and misogynistic and wrong. So then ironing just stopped the world over. Like, I guarantee that, like, the day that the women got the vote or whatever, that irons slowly have declined. And then by the time we got to the 90s with the more enlightened male and the metrosexual, as they used to call them, the more enlightened, sensitive male, I imagine that the sales of irons just tanked. Like, because if we, if men like Belushi can't force their 50s plaid skirt wearing wives to do the ironing for them, they're not going to do it themselves, Matt. They're not going to do it. Like, I'll do laundry. I even fold, Matt. I'm a good folder. I know how to fold. I've got the fold down. But if you asked me to iron, I'd say that was a step too far. I put the shit in the washing machine. I pressed the button. I took it out of the washing machine. I put it in the dryer. I pressed the button. I took it out of the dryer and I folded it on the bed. What more, Matt, could you, if you asked me to iron, I'd shit a brick. So what I'm saying is, Matt, is now that the iron is the last vestige of misogyny and chauvinism in America, and it is dying on the vine. That's all I'm saying. What do you think?
I used to iron, right, back in like the early 2000s when I got out of college. I would like iron my shirts and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I discovered Miami Vice. I kind of rediscovered it, right? Because I remember watching, and Crockett, right? He had all his clothes were all wrinkly and everything, and I was like, why don't I just do wrinkly? Like what is all this effort that I'm putting into ironing? Yes. That especially like with the button up shirts, yes. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm just putting a sweater over them anyway. So like, what does it matter? And then like the khakis, like, is somebody really looking at how wrinkled my khakis are? It's like, that's their problem if they're worried about my wrinkled khakis. And I was like,
young Matt Poirier watching Miami Vice and going, fuck this. Why am I
ironing? Yes. Yeah. If Crockett doesn't need to iron, I don't need to iron. Yes. And that was it. And so I had an iron after that, but I was like, what am I, like, we have an ironing board here and it is just covered in clothes.
Yeah, it's just no one uses it.
No, and I'm worried about it because it's covered in a lot of clothes, and at some point the physics is not going to work on how it's balanced, and the whole thing's going to topple over. Right. But so far we've avoided that. But neither of us iron. My wife doesn't iron either. No, so yeah,
because and you wouldn't want to do. I don't want my wife to iron. This isn't
exactly. Yeah,
for people to iron.
But she doesn't iron her stuff either. It's like neither of us
iron. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying irons were essentially pointless, right? Irons were essentially a way to just make a shirt look slightly better for men who wanted to swan about country clubs, quaffing brandy and ruining the world for everybody, right? And I'm just saying that the moment we stopped being misogynist, chauvinistic pricks and having our wife do our ironing, was the moment we suddenly went, I don't want to swan around a country club. Seems like a lot of effort. And if I don't want to swan around a country club drinking brandy, it means I don't have to iron my shirt. Bonus, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to watch some movies and eat some cheesy crisps. And then in the 1990s, Matt, Jim Belushi ruined that for everybody. So, so in the 2000s, early 2000s. Right?
The 2000s. Right. Essentially when they were trying to remake King of Queens, which I think came out in 98, and they were just like, okay, Kevin James is too Gen X and New York is too edgy.
Right.
What can we do to make this less edgy and less Gen X? Belushi in Chicago. So we got Boomer, we got Chicago. Yeah. Make it working class, not directly in the city in Chicago, but make it more work. Okay, we can work with this. This works better than like Queens, New York with a Gen X.
And do lots of jokes about losing the remote control. People love jokes about losing the remote control. Or do jokes about where you've sat down with a tray full of very hot food, most of which is boiled chicken that you're going to rub into your face while watching a sports match. And just when the sports match is starting, you can't reach the remote control because you've got too much boiled chicken on your face. Maybe let's do a whole slapstick scene with Belushi doing that. That would be fantastic. And then
there's like a women's show, like a show that women would want to watch is on TV, and he can't change the channel. and then his buddy comes in and is like, "Hey, great game, wasn't it?" No, I couldn't watch. I had to watch, this because I had boiled chicken and the remote was here, and it was like for 3 hours I had to do all of that, and I couldn't watch the game.
And he's the best friend comes in, and Belushi's like crying because he's like got into this show, but he can't let his know that he's crying.
Right.
So he's just like, oh, it's the buffalo chicken. It's got some hot sauce in my face. And
that's right. Yeah, because the schlubby guy always gets emotional at the women's movie. Because that's the irony. That's the joke.
That's the joke. Yeah, the joke is, well, he's so anti-softness and anti-love and anti-emotion, but deep down, if we forgive 23 episodes of him lounging around, talking nonsense, abusing his children, and not paying enough attention to his wife. If we're going to allow that, the only way we're going to show that the reason why his wife even loves him in the first place is he's going to get a little teary while watching Wuthering Heights. And that's it. Then he'll make about how fit Kate Bush was in her soundtrack version of Wuthering, or her song version of Wuthering Heights, and then everything will be all right with the world again. Well, he did cry at the TV version of Wuthering Heights, but then he seemed to be very sexist towards Kate Bush, and I felt like I was okay again. I could put even a little bit of emotion back inside my body and stuff it down with cheeseburgers and regret.
Right. It's like she comes, the wife comes in, says, oh, how nice it is that he's being emotional, all that stuff. And he's like, yeah. And then that Kate Butch, man, what knocker she had. What?
According to Jim. Like, I think the only problem is, and I've never seen that. I've only seen clips of According to Jim that Belushi posts on his Instagram. And I'm always delighted when it shows up. But I've seen the credit sequence. And I don't really want to see the credit sequence because in my head, it's a jaunty song that goes, dun, 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 according to Jim. Everything is great according to Jim. He's got chicken on his plate. Everything is wonderful. He's watching the sports. His chubby mate has come round wearing shorts. And his wife is in the kitchen. She's building a cooker and putting up a 3-piece suite. But according to Jim, he's got to rest his feet or something like that. Some according to Jim nonsense.
That's so perfect.
I don't think that's the theme song, is it?
I don't remember. I've only seen one episode, and I don't remember the opening credits or the end, but the basic premise of the episode, if this was according to Jim and it wasn't another show, but I think it was according to Jim, it was, he went to a Cubs game and he caught a baseball for a home that, like, it ended up being like it was a home run, but it canceled the home run or something. So it was like all the fans in Chicago hated him and they wanted to kill him.
Right.
I think that was according to Jim, and not the Donald Long show where he was a similar, I think that was according. That's the one episode that I remember. I think if that was according to Jim, and I don't even know why I would have watched it. It might have been one of those deals where I had boiled chicken and couldn't get to the remote, and I was like, where do I find the remote?
I really wanted to watch Sense and Sensibility, but now I have to watch 3 hours of According to Jim. Boiled chicken on my lap.
I made it through one episode and I was like, you know what? I can just get up and change the channel. That's probably what happened. And I just I pushed the button a bunch of times.
Put this plate of boiled chicken on the table.
Right, exactly.
I love the show According to Jim that I'm constructing in my head. Like I don't know if it's exactly this way, but I in my head I'm very.
I feel like this has to be what the show is because people wouldn't have this opinion of Jim Belushi that they have now, based on the movies that we just the two that we've watched so far. But really, any of the '90s era Belushi, it's so not the idea that people have of what Jim Belushi is now. So, according to Jim, had to be so much what we're talking about to be able to have scrubbed everybody's memories of '90s era Jim Belushi.
Yeah, it is remarkable though how. There really is no style to Belushi. I mean, other than his own style, which is casual shirts, not smart shirts, but with smart silk ties.
Yeah. Yes.
Chinos always pleated. The more pleats, the better the chino was the tagline. More pleats, the better the chino. And then it was like someone just jumping up in air and freeze framing. While their trousers ballooned to enormous sizes. The more pleats, the better the chino.
Freeze frame. The tie was kind of off to the side here like this. Yeah, right.
So it's a plaid corduroy or denim shirt, like a casual work shirt with a smart silk tie, right? A pair of chinos with all of the pleats slightly too high around the gut, right? Then it's a sports jacket of some kind, and not never a nice one. And that's
No.
it's either that, or if it's slightly more stylish Belushi, he wears a tan linen suit. So if it's K9 Belushi, or if it's Red Heat Belushi, it's the tan linen suit. That's how you can distinguish the different Belushis. He wants to, as a character, costume comes very early in his process as an actor. And basically what he does is he stands in front of his wardrobe and goes, do I go with the casual work shirt with the silk tie and sports jacket combination, or do I go for the tan linen suit? These are the questions that keep Belushi up at night, and for that, I'm grateful.
Yeah. Well, and then in this film, we got to see when he mixed it up a little bit with the double-breasted sport coat that he apparently was keeping in the back of his car when he suddenly was invited to a party.
It was her ex-husband's sports coat because she's all her stuff
that's
in
what
the
it
closet,
was.
And he still comes around to her house and has sex with her, which is just weird.
That's okay. So that explains all of that. So he was wearing so that's why there was that. So it was really out of his oeuvre that he's used to.
Yes. Yeah, I don't ever remember Belushi voluntarily wearing oh no, not true. In Filofax, when he slicks his hair back and wears a ponytail, much ponytail man in this movie. In Filofax, also known as Taking Care of Business, he wears a double-breasted white suit in that.
Yeah.
But that's when he's trying to pretend like he's a Filofax carrying playboy and not just some twazzock in a suit.
So that's
it's a comedy. He steals all of Charles Grodin's money, and he gets away with it because he's Belushi.
And nobody likes Charles Grodin. They want to see bad things happen to him. Just ask Midnight Run.
Yeah, Midnight Run, Taking Care of Business, The Couch Trip.
Beethoven.
Yeah, poor Charles Grodin just being attacked mercilessly.
Yeah.
What did Charles Grodin ever do to you, Hollywood? Except anything?
Yeah. They just, I remember he had his own talk show for a while. And I remember, I think he went on Conan O'Brien because, and Conan O'Brien pointed out the fact that CNBC, when they removed Grodin's talk show and replaced it with reruns of Conan O'Brien. And it was like a very awkward conversation where Conan O'Brien was trying to make light of it. And Charles Grodin was like, no, I don't really think it's that funny that they canceled my talk show and they replaced it with reruns of your show. So he was used to getting dumped on and he didn't take it. He just, I don't even think he accepted it, but it was just the natural order of things, unfortunately, for Mr. Grodin.
Yeah, and I think that's unfair. While people like Belushi flourish, people like Grodin wilt on the vine. And I'm sorry, Grodin deserved better, Matt. And I'm going to see he gets better. But anyway, so this was the wonderful Separate Life. We're all living separate lives. And I enjoyed it thoroughly, Matt.
Yes.
I'm trying to think whether we can do this next week or not. I am in Mexico next week.
So maybe not then.
Maybe not next week, but we'll do it in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we'll be back on Tubi watching more Jim Belushi. In 2 weeks, we'll be back on Tubi. We'll be watching more Jim Belushi. According to Jim. Have you ever heard of One Foot in the Grave, the British sitcom that Bill sang the theme tune to?
No, actually, I don't know. I mean, it must have. I feel like it must have aired here in the U.S., like maybe on like PBS or something. But it sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've ever seen it.
It was basically the old grumpy version, like the old age, like the white-haired grumpy old age pensioner version of According to Jim.
Okay.
English.
Right.
And the theme song was by Eric Idle, and it went 1 foot in the grave, like it was one of his like, like when Eric Idle does like comedy Cockney, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah.
And you are older and achy and still misbehave. 1 foot in the grave, like it was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I just imagine the theme song to Jim is according to Jim. According to Jim. I just imagine, I don't know why, but I imagine it's like Eric Idle.
It fits everything else that we're talking about with the show. Like it fits this entire idea that we have of According to Jim. When we actually ever watch episodes of it, we're going to probably be so disappointed. We're going to sit there and be like, why is this not as much fun as we envisioned it as?
Why does his wife not have dual personality disorder?
Right.
Why is she not like a leather fiend by day and a calm house? She comes home to Belushi and his lard ass friend covered. The entire house is covered in like zebra feces. And she's like, what went on in here? And he's like, sorry, dear. Men, oh, men. We'll get it all cleaned up, Vera, all the zebra feces. But why is there a zebra in that?
Right.
Well,
the zebra comes in with like a bowl of lettuce or something.
Yeah, the zebra comes in like eating her clothing. Right. Or no, eating the presentation that she's...
Right, that's what it is, right? Oh, there goes your work presentation, honey. Oh, and it shows the zebra just kind of and she goes to take it, and he like snorts at her or something like that. She's to pull away.
So she leaves Belushi. She's like, I can't live like this anymore, and she leaves Belushi. And Belushi thinks the only way he's gonna get his wife back is if him and his schlubby mate redo in 8 hours the work presentation that took his wife, who actually knows what her job is, 6 months to do. He and his dumb friend are going to do it in 8 hours with like a series of wigs and costumes and video cameras and stuff.
And it ends up being like this complete mess. She shows it to the boss, and the boss is about to fire her, and then suddenly he gets arrested for insider trading, and it all works out. She's right. It's no problem. Everybody's happily ever after.
And he comes home and he's like, "Oh, did you give the presentation?" She's like, "Better than that. I got a promotion." He just looks at his friend and goes, "Wow, we must have really done great work." And then like crack open another beer and keep watching the game.
Yeah. The zebra comes in with the six. Right, the zebra's got the 6-pack ring around its mouth and brings them the beer. They just like pull a beer off. Thanks, zebra.
The zebra is now a permanent character on the show. The zebra is like 100% part of the cast.
Right. As they're introducing people, there's a zebra at the end, and Mr. Zebra, or they're in the zebra.
The zebra who weirdly wears a sombrero, and no one knows why. And he puts nachos up in the sombrero. And he's like, "Zebra, come here," and the zebra comes in. Oh, according to Jim.
And he's like dipping the nachos in you.
His zebra is wearing a nacho hat. Come on now, that's the greatest sitcom.
It's perfect. I think Jim Belushi would make this sitcom. That's the thing. I think he would have rather made this sitcom than According to Jim, but According to Jim was the one that was going to pay the bills for him. So
what I want to do is go back and watch like all the episodes of According to Jim, but then rewrite them to include all our weird character things and a zebra. And then you give the script to Belushi and it suddenly becomes like an internet sensation or something. That's
exactly.
That would be amazing. They'd be like, "Oh, it's like an American sitcom, but there's a zebra in a sombrero who seems to be smoking a cigar." And the wife is like into leather bondage during the day, but the CEO of a Fortune 500 company at night, while also being a housewife and a mother.
Right, who's ironing and things like
that. Who's ironing. And the children are were animals. They like turn into dogs at night. And he walks them around the neighborhood shouting, "It's not a wolf."
It's my son.
Oh, according to Jim, he's got 2 werewolf sons. My 2 werewolf sons with Jim Belushi coming with a zebra named Chip. And the person who plays the wife, even though she has like the hardest job on the show because she's got to play all these different characters, do multiple costume changes and stuff, her name is like all the way down the very end of the credits, and it just says
Yes.
"and also."
Right after the zebra, she's after
the zebra. Because Belushi has told the writers there's a lot of mileage in the sombrero wearing zebra, and I want him on contract. Oh, okay. That is phenomenal, Matt. Okay, let's end the show there.
Yes.
With the surreal visions of, according to Jim, still dancing ahead. Matthew, this has been a real pleasure. Thank you so much. We will do this again in like a couple of weeks, maybe, because my mum will be here, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, take care, sir. All the best. Love to your wife, too. And speak soon.
Same. Have a great night. It was another great time. Talk to you soon.
Oh, we are 2 middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi films. 2 middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi films. 2 middle-aged men watching 90s era Jim Belushi films. And you can watch along with us. Oh, yeah. You've been watching along with us. Oh, yeah. Or maybe you've been listening somewhere where it's glistening. You just got the podcast version. You've not seen the film, but you have listened along with us. Oh, dear. You have spent your time with us. Just finish already.